Doon 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 doon. I don't know if I'm ready. Doon 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 doon. I'm being serious. I haven't checked anything. I haven't checked my stream. I don't know if it's lagging. I don't know if it's good, but I don't care today. Let's go. Let's go. Yo, is my camera even in the right direction? I don't even know. I don't know, bro. Hold up. Wait just a moment. Where's my camera at? I don't know. Yo. Wait just a moment. I found it. I found it. Yo, there might not be any light, but in my heart there is. You feel me? Yo, can I get any more light? Wait. Are we moving? There's been more light up in this mug. Hold on, man. Yo. Listen, dude. Legit. Like, no joke. I was just talking to my boys. And I was like, yo, I'm going to bed. I'm going to bed because the chapter's probably not dropping until tomorrow morning. I was like, you know what? I'm going to bed. I laid down, I'm not gonna lie, I was like for like 5 minutes. I was just staring at the ceiling. I was like, I'm staying up for this chapter. I'm staying up. It is the Gomu chapter. It is the big 1056 chapter. It's the Gomu chapter. We have been so hyped for this chapter. And considering where we currently are in the story, I was like, yo, I gotta stay up for this chapter. I don't care what happens, I gotta stay up for this chapter. And then lo and behold, a few seconds after that, I'm talking to my cousin. He's like, yo, chapter's out. I'm like, what? He's like, yo, chapter's out. I'm like, oh, chapter's out. I'm out. If One Piece is out, I'm out. Because, ladies and gentlemen, YouTube won't stop bothering me. They keep pinging my thing like, yo, now would be a good time to insert ads. Well, YouTube, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, Google. There's only one ad that we run here on this channel. And that is that right here, right now, as we stand, One Piece earlier this week just got the Guinness World Record for most volumes sold by a single author. 416 million in Japan, 100 million around the world. We are here today to talk about the latest installment in the final saga greatness. The latest installment in that Wano to final saga greatness. Of what is officially confirmed 150%, it's not even close. The best-selling manga in history. Yo, Bruce, where you at? Clark Kent, where you at? We are here today to read what is nearly the best-selling comic of all time. We're sitting good. 516 mil. Yo, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to reach chapter 1056 of the one, the only. I don't know if my audio's working. I don't even know if my camera's good. I don't care. I don't care. You know, my second camera's not even on. I don't care. We're here to talk about One Piece. Yo, I don't care. They bet somebody's gonna start knocking on my window. Sir, you're being a little too loud. I'm reading One Piece. I'm reading One Piece. You know what I mean, yo? I don't care, man, at this point, dude. It don't matter. It don't matter, man. Let me set up my second camera. Let me just press the red button. Alright, we're good. We good. Red button has been pressed. I have the chapter pulled up. As long as my laptop doesn't crash, is my audio good? Yo, stop telling me to run ad. Yo, if YouTube tells me to run one more ad, bro, dog. Look, the only ad I'm running here is for people to buy this manga. That's the only ad I'm running here on this channel. So, they can go somewhere with that. I don't drop taxes. So, audio good? Audio good? Yo, Silva, thank you so much, bro. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate everybody. I see so many Santa hats. I can't look at the stream for now. We gotta read the chapter. We gotta read the chapter. Let's go, dude. Listen. It's time. Will we get Shanks for a third chapter in a row? That's my number one question. Will we get Shanks for a third chapter in a row? We gotta see. Yo. Chapter 1056, and we're starting off, we see Zoro in the legendary pose from chapter 1036. The King of Jigoku pose up here on the top. We get to see everyone in Shonen Jump. Here we see Yuji, Todori, Deku, and the goat with the coat in the middle. Here we see the double cover for Weekly Shonen Sunday, I believe, is where Conan is being serialized. And the One Piece side pass me so much, I don't even remember that. And so we see, of course, Rum and... Or not Rum, flipping Zero and Luffy. And then Conan and Zoro, of course. Obviously, I'm forgetting names, but the hype gets to you. The hype gets to you, all right. The hype gets to you, and you have all the rest of them here in the back. I'm glad Black Clover is back, man. I really, really am. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get right into this chapter. Do we have a color page? Kurazushi are giving away capsule prizes with their sushi. I had to finish 40 platters to win. It was a fun challenge, but my tummy hurts. So this man Oda's out here. Being a Toriko in real life. We love to see it. Let's get into the chapter. Another Uta page? Oh, Shanks in this chapter. Oh, Shanks is gonna be in the chapter, bro. Wherever Uta goes, Shanks is. That's all I know. Not in the actual series because he left her behind. But you feel me? Wherever Shanks goes, Uta goes. Wherever Shanks goes, Uta goes. Come on, man. That's all I need. 3 issues in a row. I know, Oda, you're telling me. Right here in gold print, in gold, in like a gold sun. Shout out to Nika. And then in black print, it says 3 issues in a row. And they're pretty much letting me know it's a guarantee. Shanks in this chapter, confirmed. And so another one of Uta's songs came to be. Another in the series of specials by Oda that shows the origins of Uta's songs. This time it's the lyrics to the world's continuation. And here we see Uta looking over as, I believe this is Shanks in the background, holding a blade. You see the little coat on his back as there's multiple people running here. Can you believe it? This man Shanks looks like a menacing figure here in the background. If that is him. And then here we see Shanks, Uta, and Lucky Roo. Lucky Roo's in the chapter. It's a 50 out of 10. It's a 50 out of 10. You kidding me, bro? Lucky Roo, son? So, Uta's going in, throwing a whole bunch of garbage right here. Picks up one of the pieces of garbage right here. When I sing that song, it's a prayer that you'll come along. I need you to hear it. I need you to believe it. Let's have faith in our trust. I can hold on as long as I must till we meet outside as a dream. See, whenever these trailers kept dropping, I thought that this was going to be a very interesting story for them to tell in a movie. For a character to become an idol, with one of the purposes of that to be for a song, a message, words, to reach that individual and strike a chord with them. Because it's one of those things that I just love to see in stories. It's the reason why Violet Evergarden strikes such a strong chord with me. Because it's based all around that, You're writing something specifically for someone to hear it, for it to resonate with someone in particular. And you're trying your hardest to reach that person's heart. And that is what Uta's doing here with writing these songs, some of them, so that it can reach Shanks. And this one in particular looks like it's directly for Shanks to hear it. Man, I can't wait for Film Red, dude! I cannot wait! So, here we go. One Piece, chapter 1056, Cross Guild. Cross Guild? Is that Katakuri? Oh, it's Hove. It's Katakuri! Finally! Mochi Man! The GOAT! Mr. Donuts himself, voiced by Gintoki. My dog! The GOAT! The Donut Emperor himself, baby! So we go straight from a Uta page and we cut over and we see Oven and Katakuri throwing down with Germa. Oh, no wonder we hadn't seen them in a minute. Oda was cooking. Oda was in the oven. He had that thing on max. He was like, yo, we gotta cook this for a sec. We can't just let this come out. We gotta cook this in here for a couple minutes. Katakuri Mochi gang, son. Oven and Katakuri going up Intellect Stormer against the Germa. And I love how it's 2 against 4. Like, Katakuri and Oven are like, yo, we got this. There's only 4 of them. It's just the Power Rangers. Like, yo, we going in. We going in with the power of donuts. Germa 66's Cold-Blooded Voyage, Volume 15, Katakuri and Oven spring into action. So not only do we continue this cover page for the first time in like a month and a half, but we come back with Katakuri going into like swimwear. Things we love to see, dude. Give me 1 second. Let me make sure. I gotta make sure that I can see, because clearly, if Katakuri's in the thing, look, every chapter with one of my favorites of Big Mom's Children has been a 10 out of 10. I remember when I saw Pudding in a cover page, and I saw it was the Color of the Supreme King, the chapter 1010, and I was like, well, every chapter with one of the goat kids on it, one of Big Mom's goat children, is gonna be goated. So, if we're following the same trajectory, this is about to be a legendary chapter, because we have not seen Katakuri at all since Whole Cake Island. So, Katakuri in the cover page, I'm already sold. I already love this chapter. Here we go. The flower capital after the festivities. It's the morning. It's morning time. If it's morning, then Shanks is gone. Because in the last chapter, we saw his boat leaving. So if we transition over to the morning, that means he's already gone to the next location. Regardless. The flower capital after the festivities. Hang in there, Raizo, the 10th Emperor. They're so thin now. The aftermath of Ryokugyu's assault. Don't die, Shinobu-san. What terrifying sorcery. Oh, they're trying to recover from what Green Bull did. Dang, that lasted all the way until now? All the way until the morning? Okay, Green Bull? We may find it hard to admit, but that man... Kaido's presence did keep other threats at bay at a point. But that man had a point. Kaido's presence did keep other threats at bay. I'm telling you, Kaido's very presence, Kaido existing, was the biggest deterrent in Wano. Like, you could have all of the samurais of legend and all of the, like, natural things happening around Wano, right, that would deter individuals from wanting to come in here. Right, if they don't have a good navigator or someone that can take them in. Outside of all of that, you already knew whose territory this was. You knew that this place was ruled by Brock. And not just Brock. I'm talking Brock. Like Brock with the tractor. We're talking about Cowboy Brock with the hat on, laughing while on top of the tractor. We're talking about that Brock combined and fused with Prime Rock. And I'm not talking about any kind of... I'm talking about Prime Rock with the sunglasses, the WWF title, the Armani suit. I mean, that's what I'm talking... Bro, the combination of Prime Rock and Brock. Kaido! I mean, bro, and the fact that my GOAT Luffy took that man out, I mean, come on. But what's that called? But, Kaido's presence really was the deterrent. Because when you look at it, this man's seen as the world's strongest creature. Nobody wanted to mess with this dude. He himself was trying to end himself, and he couldn't even do it. So it's like when you have a dude who can't even do it himself, and no one else is even bothering to try, and then you have his old teammate going in Big Mom. It's like, who's coming in and wants a piece of that? My goats did, alright? So it really was like Kaido was the deterrent keeping everyone away from Wano. Even though he was, of course, doing what he was doing here in Wano with Orochi, it's like, it's because of him that the borders remained closed for as long as they did. He was a tremendous deterrent, exactly. Forgive me, I should have been in Korea when all this happened. Man, Kinemon. Because Kinemon and the loyalty that he has to this country, the loyalty he has to Momonosuke. Of course he wanted to be there. I was completely oblivious. Don't sweat it, we were able to avoid more casualties thanks to Momonosuke-sama's bravery. Purr. How was Otsuru-san anyway? It really was thanks to Momonosuke's bravery, man. Momonosuke's bravery summoned Shanks, bro. I mean, it really did. Like, Shanks was just listening in, utilizing his Wi-Fi hockey. He was just listening, man. And he was just waiting. He was like, when my dog Momo drops the promo, when he goes in, when he drops the mic, when that blast breath comes in, it's time for me to move. It's time for me to move. And I'm going to have Greenbow's knees shaking. I'm going to have my dog like this. Ooh, turn into spaghetti. It's like, yeah, yo. Dog, my boy Momonosuke was the catalyst. He was the catalyst. How was Osuru anyway? Well, Okobori town itself was reduced to ashes, and Suru suffered a nasty burn to the face, but I'm just thankful that she managed to survive. I'm glad that we're getting more on this. If it isn't Otsuru-san, I hear Kin-san finally came home. Yes, but he had to return to the capital. You hail from the capital yourself, and he plans to move back? Yes, I always want to be by his side. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. So glad the two of them actually get to have a happy ending. You know, we were, especially after chapter 10-15, which, you know, the debate goes on endlessly on whether Kinemon should have died or not. But if he's going to be alive, I'd rather my boy is happy. You feel me? I don't want my mans to be alive and depressed. Let my dog be happy, man. If he was going to survive that attack from Kaido, let my dog just live. Let him live. So, Osuru, of course, wants to be by his side. We'd love to see it. But wow, even after 20 years, Suru is as gorgeous as ever. Gotta love a man that actually loves his wife, man. Shout out to Kinemon. Enough already, even puppy love isn't this sappy. Even puppy love isn't this sappy. Okay, Narashi, I see you with the puns. Meow, 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 meow. I think it's wonderful, Keen-san. I wish I were popular. You are, Raizo! Are you kidding me? Dog, you have an entire spin-off manga after you. My man Raizo is the catalyst, the reason for Naruto's existence. Dog, this man Raizo is so legendary that he was the one who created the Sage of Six Paths. Talking about I wish I were popular. Dog, you got like 270 million volumes old. You were the reason why anime became so popular where I live. Besides Dragon Ball. It's like, yo, everybody was rocking the headband. Everybody was doing the Shon, Shin, dun 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 ho, ho, dun dun dun. What, are you kidding me, bro? Naruto was the gas, man, when I was growing up. So it's like, yo, it's thanks to Raizo that Junk exists. It's thanks to Raizo. You guards, focus on your recovery, Raizo. Duke Boss, Carrot! The individual that I feel like I haven't seen since... Who knows? I feel like the last time I saw Carrot was like 100 million years ago, even though she was clearly in the last chapter. Or I think it was chapter before. But it's like, I feel like I haven't seen Carrot in 100 years. Duke, boss, you summoned me. What's up? Oh, you're here, Carrot. You gotta be the ruler of the next... No, they're choosing her to rule the Mokomo Dukedom? So does that mean that Inarashi and Nekomushi are planning to stay here in Wano? No, so this really is the next generation taking over. Like last chapter, you know, where we were talking about like the next era, the new era. Of course, the new emperors have come into play, Momonosuke being the new shogun. But now even Carrot is going to be the individual who rules the minks. That's pretty dope. So I wonder what Inarashi and Nekomushi are going to do. Yugata will be the next ruler of the Mokomo Dukedom. Mr. Ruler? Sure, no biggie. Wait, ruler? No way, I can't possibly take charge. The cat and I have decided to stay in Wano. There it is. Oh, this is dope. To serve as Kozuki retainers and protect Momonosuke-sama. You gotta have grown very dependable after your adventures with Luffy and the others. You definitely got what it takes to lead the next generation. So this just confirms that not only is Carrot not joining the crew, but Carrot is gonna go back to the Minks and is gonna rule. So that means whenever the next time we see Carrot in the final saga, oh, she's gonna pull up straight up Sulog form, looking nasty and in charge of all the Minks. Oh, that's gonna be filthy, dude. That's gonna be nasty. I like this. I really, really do. So now we're starting to see that payoff to the whole Pedro plotline, the Wanda plotline, why we were focusing so much on Carrot in that particular, and it's because of this. So really, really cool stuff here. But some of the others are way stronger than me. True enough. And we have the Musketeers. That's why you can trust us to protect the country for you. I'm sorry, yo. Is the camera good? Hold on, let me... I think it should be better right there. We good? Yeah. Okay, yeah, I think we should be good.
The Three Musketeers, I'll be by your side too, Carrot. The Dukes chose wisely. Here's Wanda as well. Pedro's will lives on more in you than it does in anyone else. And we saw that, of course. I'll never forget whenever chapter 902 dropped, and we had that emotional scene with Carrot trying to hold it in, and Sanji was like, "Yo, just let it go." And then, of course, we saw little bits and pieces of that within Wano, and we saw a literal carrying of the will whenever Carrot was facing off against Wanda, and Carrot and Wanda facing off against Perospero. I love the way the anime handled that, by the way. Love the way the anime's handling that. Pedro, yeah, we leave Zoe to you gotta youngsters. And Zunisha's still roaming, still being the #1 Joy Boy fanboy in the entire planet. Yes, Odin was my son. You're our grandpa? Pluton! So they didn't see it? We all understood that they would have to go through some type of measures in order to get down there. Like either we had to send Jinbei, or we had to take like Laud with the submarine. Something had to have happened. But through this skip in time, of course, Sukiyaki came back to where they are. Sorry, I'm so sorry. I'm in your debt. You truly are... No, Momonosuke. You truly are the spitting image of your father, Momo. Grandpa, after losing our parents... No, it's Momo and Hiyori. After losing our parents, it means a lot to find out that we still have family. Of course. Of course. Right, please don't apologize. Like, they must be the happiest individuals. Like, yo, time with grandpops? Like, man. So I take it the rest of you really did know about me. Wearing a Tengu mask outside of a festival is odd. So we knew you were no ordinary swordsmith. We didn't think it was our place to expose you. Forgive me for putting you in that position. So Kawamatsu and Denjiro knew, and what's interesting about this is that Kawamatsu and Denjiro, of course, having lived throughout these entire 20 years, they were the ones who caught on to the whole Sukiyaki scheme before anyone else did. And they're the ones who were highlighted in this panel. It's like, obviously, living for 20 years, wanting to find anyone else who shares that same motivation, that same interest in wanting to cause rebellion, waiting for the scabbards and all that. It's like, they found something interesting within him. And you're like, oh, something's odd here. Something's weird here. So it is interesting that both Kawamatsu and Denjiro, the individuals who could not act out, because Kawamatsu, of course, was stuck in Impel Down 2.0, in Udon, and we had Denjiro, of course, who was playing Yakuza 0 this entire time. So it's like you have these two individuals who were not going to act out, and they knew. They knew, they had a feeling, they had an idea, and that idea grew as they continued to see the individual close and personal throughout the festival. So, and then here we see Kinemon. He was Sukiyaki-sama. Of course, Kinemon shook. He was Sukiyaki-sama all along? My lord, what a shock! Still, I am glad he is well. He's like, yo, I love Kinemon, man. Never change, Kinemon, never change. There may be some things I can shed light on. There's an old cottager? There's an old cottager like me is good for anyway. That's all an old... I don't even know what that is. Alright, that just... It makes me want to say Call of Duty, or a Call of Duty player. So, I don't know, man. That's an old... That this is what I say, that's an old Call of Duty lobby player right there, man. You know what I mean? This is a Modern Warfare 2 player right here, yo. He's one of my generation. One of my generation, man. Playing MW2. When that's done, I implore you to let me live anonymously among the people. In this new era you have ushered in. New era. Once again, that word being brought up. Absolutely, just knowing you're alive out there is a great comfort for us. This is unbelievable. What? Pluton's in this country? They're finding out. And Frankie's the first one to find out here. Yes, I didn't get the chance to see it myself, so Robin didn't see it. But there's no mistaking it, so it really exists. And so, like, you know, going back and connecting the plot lines back to Water 7 and his lobby, these two were the individuals who were the focal points of that, right? In Frankie and Robin, whenever the blueprints were initially brought up. Didn't you torch the blueprints for that thing, Frankie? Look at my dog! The goat with the goat in the squad! Didn't you torch your blueprints for that thing, Frankie? Yeah, Pluton, it's an ancient weapon named after a god. You want it, Luffy? No, I'm good. My boy don't need it. He don't need that thing. I thought you'd say that. Still, I can't help but wonder, why would Odin want to unleash it? So, first and foremost, it's brought up about the blueprints, right? And he states that yes, he most certainly did torch the blueprints for it, as we saw it back in Enies lobby. But Luffy being Luffy, of course, like, I don't need that thing, dog. I don't need it! I don't need cheap endgame weapons, alright? The only one that I'm gonna have end of series is Shirahoshi, and that's just because that's my friend. That's just because it's my friend, yo. That's it. I don't need any other weapons. Why would Odin want to unleash it? Come again? Young Shinobu back? Shinobu's back at it again? Come again? Did you say the mature ladies are alluring ancient weapons? Who are you? It's me, Shinobu, I know. And Tama! No, and Tama's wearing the outfit too for the kunoichi. Oh, that's cute. That's really, really cute. The fact because we know how badly Tama wanted to be a kunoichi, right? A bewitching kunoichi, as I believe it was stated in the Viz version. A bewitching kunoichi to go in order to go leave with Ace. So that's really, really cute. Even doing the whole the pose. It's me, Shinobu. I know I'm nothing but skin and bones after that accident. Don't put a skin and bones joke with Brook in the room, dog. Now with Brook in the room, you don't even know what skin and bones are. All right, look at Sanji. So it's like, whoa, now that's a glow up. My dog's like, that's the time skip we needed. Shinobu gang. Big bro, I'm gonna be Shinobu's apprentice. No, Mama Nami's coming in. You think I can get strong enough to join your crew next time we meet? You look adorable, Otama. Sure, if you keep up on your ninjutsu training. She. So that's dope. That's dope. Luffy making a similar type of promise that Ace did, of course. But Mama Nami coming in. That has been the most consistent part of her character that has been here since the time skip. Is, we've seen that in so many arcs with her caring after kids, and it's such a beautiful thing whenever you think back to Along Park, you think back to Bellemere, how great of a mother Bellemere was to Nami and Nojiko, and to see Nami doing this with Tama is just, it's so dope. It's so dope. We love to see it. Caribou? This man is still breathing oxygen? I thought the whole purpose of this man's existence was to give my man Luffy the Senzu Bean. That was my man's only purpose in life. Because I was just recently, they were playing the Joy Boy reveal episode on Toonami, and I was thinking back to the whole Caribou plotline. I was like, oh yeah, that really didn't amount to much. With the whole Caribou and Poseidon telling that to Kaido, it's like, that really didn't amount to much. But he's right here! Yeah, no way, Pluton's in Wano? First Poseidon, now this, there's a certain someone who... Who are we talking about, bro? Is this man working for Blackbeard? Is he working for him? Who knows? This man, Caribou's more mysterious than anyone. First Poseidon, now this. There's a certain someone, and we all thought that person was going to be Kaido. Apparently not. This man was playing 5D chess the whole time. Pluton's in Wano. First Poseidon, now this. There's a certain someone who'd love to hear about this. So, the person that Caribou wanted to talk about the ancient weapons was not going to end up being Kaido from a storytelling standpoint. Or maybe it was something that Oda just forgot. He was like, oh yeah, the Caribou thing. And he's like, you know what, now let's give the plot line over to Blackbeard. I don't know. Maybe it was planned the whole time. Who cares? Who cares? Caribou's here. And we're getting a continuation to this whole Caribou thing, so great. Caribou's back, and now they're both Poseidon and Pluton. He has information on both of them, so we'll see what that amounts to. A few days later, we moving? My lord, we have finished your restoration plans for all the various villages. I just can't get over how raw this Minmo Momonosuke looks, bro. The necessary funds have also been calculated. Shogun-sama! Shogun! Yo, they're bowing before the goat, yo. Hey, Zoro, can you teach me some sword? Please. Moves? Luffy? Zoro? They're gone. They left? Onami, Usopp, Sanji, Chopper. Oh, they're gone. We're leaving Wano? Robin, Frankie, Bonakichi, Jinbei, Yamato. Yamato's gone too. Oh, thank God. Thank God. Yamato, spread. Where is everyone? Bang, bang. Hiyori's playing the shamisen? Is that Toko? Is that Toko playing the shamisen with Hiyori? You ever seen Luffy and the gang? It is! They all left earlier, right? Everyone came to say farewell. No way! They finally left! We left. It's lonely without them. Everyone came to say farewell this morning. Wow, man. Yo, we've been in Wano for so long, dude. What? But no one said anything to me. Momonosuke-sama, Kinemon, Luffy, and the rest have. I just found out myself. They said their goodbyes to Denjiro and the others. Why leave us out? No, bro. This is about to hurt, man. These are the two individuals that like we've been on the journey on with for the longest, right? We've been with Kinemon and Momonosuke since Punk Hazard. Ever since we found that distress signal, we were like, yo, we gotta go over there. We gotta see that guy who is just a walking pair of hairy legs. All right, and this dragon. It's like, yo, man, we've been on the journey for so long, dude. Don't spread Tokage Port Udon. We see Law. Just pick a different day to leave, Straw Hat. Yeah, our alliance has run its course with rivals again. Law, you're a Straw Hat until the end of time. Until the end of time, you are a Straw Hat. Stop with this rivalry garbage, alright? No way, we've decided to set sail today. Let's at least pick different routes if we're all leaving now. The log poses the islands are log poses locked onto are in 3 different directions: north, east, and southeast. Oh, so they're all pointing in different directions. The Middle East! The Middle East. North. So, Kid and Luffy picked the same one. And Law's like, F it, I'm going to the Northeast. Like, screw it, I don't want to follow these two bastards any longer. I'm tired of Kid. I'm tired of Luffy. I'm tired of seeing their faces. I'm just going somewhere else, man. I just screw it. And Kid and Luffy are like, I'm going in the middle. I'm going to the middle, son. Law's like, I'm gone. Screw it. My dog is even looking raw while sitting on a couple of barrels. They're all looking raw. They're all looking fresh. Luffy's back in his usual garment here. Where's the coat? Luffy, bro, you gotta have the coat on, dog. You're about to meet Shanks soon. Northeast is the most direct route. So here we see Calm Belt, southeast, east, and northeast. So northeast is going this way. East, of course, is the middle where both Kid and Luffy stated they wanted to go. And then southeast is going a little farther, like north to the right. Did you two just randomly pick the middle one? How childish. Oh, here comes Law. Always looking down on these two. No, I lost the draw. Sorry, guys. East. Who cares? They're all dangerous. Get over here and help us load the cargo, Luffy. So that means that Luffy's going instead to... The east is going southeast because he lost the draw. So Kid's going east. It looks like Luffy's going south. Southeast. I'm the Emperor. For real, Luffy's like, yo, I'm the Emperor. Listen to me. I'm the go with the coat. I'm the Emperor. I should be the best at drawing lots. What was that? You cocky emperors are an eyesore, but the one that pisses me off the most is this guy. Bug! Look at my boy! Dog, he looks so raw, dude! Buggy the bombastic clown. Me! Buggy the bombastic clown. Look at Mihawk, bro. Crocodile. Cross Guild. The title of the chapter? What? This man, Buggy, no wonder he became an emperor! Dog, they looked at his squad! No, bro, I mean, obviously, bro, if I saw Mihawk under anyone's crew, I'm like, that's an emperor. I don't care who it is. Mihawk in someone's crew? I'm like, brother, that's an emperor, and I don't care. If I was Im-sama, I'm calling him up. Where's my phone at? I'm calling him up and be like, yo, yeah, Kid, right hand man. Okay, yeah, they're nice. Running down the list, you see the list. Then you go down to Buggy, and it was like, yeah, but Buggy's that guy. Buggy, you know, part of Roger's crew, and he's got the same thing as Luffy, where everybody wants to follow him. He's raw. Oh yeah, on his crew, Sir Crocodile, aka Luffy's mother, and Mihawk. Like, are you kidding? Mihawk? Dracule? So does this mean they're all... So it's called Cross Guild. Does this mean they're in an alliance, or are they in the same crew? I don't care. Regardless, this is raw. This is one of the rawest pages. Dude, you have Buggy on top. On the right is Mihawk looking so fresh. And then Crocodile on the left, yo. Hold up. Crocodile and Hawkeye? They're working under Buggy? I can't imagine Hawkeye doing that. Zoro's like, yo, why in the Flying Planet Earth would Mihawk be under anyone? If he's capable of commanding men like this, then he's definitely in the world. So, what this is telling me is there's more to this whole cross-guild deal. There's definitely more to this cross-guild deal. But regardless, to the general public, Mihawk and Crocodile are aligned with Buggy. 3 former Shichibukai are on the same squad. And it just so happens to be 3 of the most legendary. Dude, this is nuts, bro. So this is what it means by Cross Guild. That, first and foremost, that is an amazing name for whatever this is. Buggy, Mihawk, and Crocodile, man. If he's capable of commanding men like this, and he's definitely worthy of new emperor. Trust me, he's just a moron. Luffy's like, yo, trust me, dog. He's just an idiot. What the heck happened? Whatever it was, it seemed this cross guild of his is issuing bounties on Marines. Now those Navy dogs have to watch their backs too. The hunters have they're pulling out bounties on Marines? Buggy the GOAT. Buggy the GOAT, bro. This man Buggy's marine hunting? He's marine hunting? Nah. Hold up, dude. The Buggy Ball? Buggy. Yo, I need to see Alvin in a box of Vice Admiral, bro. I gotta see Kabaji just be like, yo, look, see me, Mr. 3 Ice Cat, yo, Candle Wall. Like I said, if you don't have at least one Admiral pulling up, don't even try to see Mihawk. And Crocodile, yo, if they are legit, I know there's something more to it. It's One Piece. There's always something more to it. But it's like the fact that the 3 of them are seen in the general public as being in the same thing. It's like, who really wants to mess with Buggy? It's like they see everyone who's already following Buggy. He already has this massive following. And now you have even Crocodile and Mihawk. Like, I wouldn't want to touch him either. And they're hunting the Navy? Like, yo, wait, yo. But Buggy's moving different. Sounds like the world really changed when we were isolated in this country. While we were in this isolated country. Everyone's done whining about their roots, right? Once we leave Wano, it's every man for himself. I don't want to hear any excuses. What is this, Trafalgar? It's a copy of the Lode Poneglyph. You earned it too. No! Law even gave one to Kid. Law's a real one. Law's a real one, yo. It wouldn't be sporting to keep it from you. So Kaido did have one. It's like the one we forced that Big Mom Commander to hand over, huh? Wow. The one who forced that Big Mom Commander to hand over. So Kid is basically on the same route as well. If we want to stay ahead in the scramble for the One Piece, we gotta get serious about that guy. That guy? You want to go after the man marked by flames? But we've got no leads. Marked by flames? We ought to get serious about that guy. You want to go after the man marked by flames. But we've got no leads. The phrasing here is unique and can imply a burn or a scar shaped like fire. So the one, of course, that's coming into my mind right now is Sabo, obviously. But someone with a burn or a scar shaped like fire. The Man Marked by Flames is a goated behind title, whoever this is. I'll ask y'all that in the comment section, because if there is someone that I'm, or whenever I finish this reaction, we can talk about this. Because if there is someone, I can't think of them from the top of my mind right now. The Man Marked by Flames, we've got no, the Man Marked by Flames. But we've got no leads. I'm fascinated. The phrasing here is unique and by a burner, scar shaped like fire. Marked by Flames, what are you talking about? You don't know? I guess we're a step ahead of you. Come on, spill it already. Flower Capital, are you gone too, Yamato? Bro, what are they talking about? So if Luffy's reacting like this and look at Law's face, dog. They gotta be talking about Sabo then, bro. They gotta be talking about Sabo then, dog. Marked by Flames, what are you talking about? Look at Law's face here, bro. This man looks like a menace. Yo, you don't know. I guess we're a step ahead of you. Come on, spill it already. So, are you gone too, Yamato? Not yet, Momonosuke-kun. Are you on the roof like usual? Yeah, I've made up my mind. I'm about to head over to Luffy and the gang. Go, Yamato! What are you waiting for the love of God? It's finally the time for me to live like Odin did. Heroic and free. And the chapter ends. No break. No break. No break. No break. Okay. So next chapter, Yamato joins. Next chapter, Yamato joins. Let's go. So, Marked by Flames. But regardless. Yamato is... next chapter is going to have Yamato joining, of course. Not yet, Momonosuke-kun. Are you on the roof like usual? Yeah, I've made up my mind. I'm about to head over to Luffy and the gang. It's finally time for me to live like Odin did. Man, I can't wait for next chapter, the official joining of Yamato. And of course, I'm going to assume it's going to be like some sort of trial like it was with Odin. So that's going to be a lot of fun. As they head on to this next island, and they're all going to 3 different islands that are right next to each other. So let me look at these color pages real quick, which all look great. It's time for me to live like Odin did. Let's talk about, who is this flame dude, bro? Who is this flame dude? Talk to me. Who's the flame dude? Who's the flame dude? Who is the flame dude? Talk to me. Talk to me. Kuzin, bro! That's facts! That's facts! Oh, I forgot! That's right, because I remember back whenever Film Z was coming out, I remember there was that little clip that was going around everywhere before the movie officially released. And it had Aokiji in the bathroom, or in the bathhouse with Luffy, Zoro, Sanji I think was there as well. But I remember them specifically, they were like, oh snap, an Admiral's here. And Aokiji got to see the burn mark. That was the first time it really hit me, like, dang, Akainu hit that man with massive damage. So, oh my god, that would explain why Law knows, and that would connect that to Punk Hazard? Of course! So that means if he knows, then he has to know what's currently happening right now with Aokiji and with Blackbeard, because we know there's a connection there with those two as well. You're right, it has to be Kuzan. It has to be Kuzan. It has to be Aokiji. So if that's the case, oh, this is going to get really spicy so soon. Because we already know, since this is the final saga, stuff is about to start connecting. Immediately. Oh, man. I love that Kuzan idea. So, let me look at these supers. 500 people for an unscheduled stream. Yo, y'all are goated. Thank y'all so much for stopping by, dude. I appreciate y'all. So Bar M comes in and says, Buggy making big moves. Random theory coach, maybe the person Caribou's talking about is Akainu / Aokiji. So you think Caribou's working for the Govs? Or working for the government in Akainu's case, and then whatever in the world Aokiji got going on. Whether Aokiji's with Sword, or Aokiji's with the Revolutionary Army, or Aokiji's wherever, because we all assume Aokiji, of course, is like a triple agent, working with Blackbeard pirates, on his own thing, and all that stuff, so... But that's interesting. In the cover story, I showed Drake taking Caribou away, and we know he's in Sword now. That's true.
So Bar M might have a super 4D chess theory here, and Caribou actually being a member of Sword and or directly responding to orders from either Akainu or Aokiji, because we're all expecting to be an emperor, right? Like, we're all expecting this individual to be someone like Blackbeard or something around those lines. So if he were to be talking about someone else, that's wild. That's wild. Thank you so much for that, Bar M. I appreciate you. Then we got Randy G. Hey, okay, I heard this is a great chapter. Read it soon. Do your thing, brother. Absolutely, bro. Read it as soon as possible, Randy. As soon as possible, bro. Thank you so much for stopping by and for the 10, dog. I appreciate you. Bad News Recon magazine break next week. Oh, that's right. That's why everyone was on the cover. That makes sense. Because usually when everybody's on the cover like this, that means they're going on break. That's why Oda teased the flippin' Yamato joining the crew at the end of the chapter. We're going on break. Man. Mihawk has a scar? Yo, Spicy, what's good, bro? What's good, my good brother? Mihawk has a scar, real talk? Who scarred Mihawk? This man, Mihawk, got a scar! Who boxed Mihawk and lived? Well, we don't know. It's not a guarantee where the person lived, but it's One Piece, so the person lived. Who boxed Mihawk and lived? Has to be Scopper Gabon. He has flame marks on his head. That's true as well, Jon Snow Targaryen. And Vortex. That is true. It could be Gabon as well. It could be Aokiji. It could be Gabon. Sabo. Dog, Mihawk has... Who in the Flying Flanders scarred Mihawk? Yo, you know what this chapter reminded me of, man? This chapter reminded me of whenever we left Punk Hazard. And there was that really, like, that chapter that had us all going crazy. What was that? I think it was chapter 699, 698. And then there was 700. But 700 obviously ended with, like, Dofi having Ace's Fruit. So next chapter, it looks like next chapter is going to be where... Oh, next chapter is going to be so emotional, man. If we stay here in Wano... Next chapter is going to be Yamato attempting to join the crew, and that whole ordeal, with Momonosuke and Kinemon's goodbye with the Strides. Dog, that's gonna hit so hard, man. Next chapter is gonna be one of the most emotional moments in the entire series, bro. I know it's gonna hit me really hard, you know, like, regardless of how everyone feels about, you know, these scabbards and whatnot, as someone who really loves the scabbards, and those two in particular. And Momonosuke and Kinemon, that chapter's gonna hit, dog. That chapter's gonna hit so hard, man. Yo, I really, really dug this chapter. It was just tying those loose ends while also introducing some really interesting new plot lines as well. Carrot. The man marked by flames, yo. That's such an interesting name. I saw Super earlier. I apologize. Oh, there's two right here. So Recon, Recon, thank you so much for the membership, dog. I appreciate you. Member for 6 months says, imagine if Mr. 3 has ranks over Mihawk and Croc. You can imagine Mr. 3 just talking down to Mihawk and Crocodile. That'd be hilarious. That'd be hilarious, yo. I'm down for that. I'm always down for Mr. 3 being a troll, so I'm down for that. But that's hilarious. That's hilarious. But thank you so much for that, Regan. Hopefully Perona joins the guild, dog. Silva, we need hold on, back. And then my dog Eric comes in with the 5. Shout out to my boy Eric. I like the Kuzan idea. Good to see the characters hang out this week. Absolutely. It's always good to have the characters hanging out, talking. Because characters hanging out and talking in One Piece is always just a great thing, right? But this week's chapter in particular, so many things were paid off through the characters having these discussions. And so it's like... Kuzin... That Kuzin idea is so fascinating to me, though. Because it's like, Aokiji, of course, we've been waiting. This chapter brought up plot lines that were introduced in Fishman Island and Punk Hazards that have yet to be paid off. If they're truly talking about the Aokiji, if they're talking about Aokiji here, then that's something that connects all the way back to chapter 697 and 698. Right? And of course, when that was brought up again, I believe that was like chapter 719, whenever that was in Dressrosa. And then we cut back to in Fishman Island when Caribou found out about Poseidon. So it's like, and then there's this certain person which we all assumed for so many years was Kaido. But it's not Kaido. So it's like, who in the world is Caribou working for? I'm so interested, yo. I'm so interested. But thank you so much, Eric. I appreciate you. The scar is just like Croc's face. That's a very interesting observation, Dream Kid. It sort of is. Like, you know, you see Crocodile's scar. It could just be for design aesthetic. Like, maybe Oda thought that it would look cool. But it's like, why make this scar so noticeable? It's like someone had to have done damage. Who did damage? Who in the world did damage? Con the Walrus says Buggy slashed Mihawk into submission. That's hilarious. Hey, but I can see it. I can see it. Vista. Imagine Vista being the one to do it. Probably Fuji. I think it's just shading. Shading! The Artemis hockey discussion. Shading. Can Recon Buggy, Mihawk, and Crocodile teaming up like the Miami Heat? Yo, legit, Mihawk joining Buggy is like... I don't even know what to compare it to, dude. That's nuts. Yo, Mihawk is like when someone like LeBron or KD is open on the market and they just join. That's nuts, bro. That's nuts. And then Crocodile is like that other all-star that's also looking for a home. It's like, yo, that's nuts. That's nuts, yo. Oh, we got a couple more supers right here. So, first super comes in from Dream Kid Vic. Shout out to Dream Kid Vic, comes in and says, can we think of anyone that Law has mentioned or seen in the past with burn marks? Because for him, it's personal. It definitely does look that way, Dream Kid Vic. And it reminds me of, like, when I saw that panel, it gave me the same vibes as Law from Dressrosa, where he had a personal vendetta and wanted to do something about it. Right? So it's like, who could have... Does this connect to the incident that took place? Man, it was mentioned in Punk Hazard. You guys know what I'm talking about. It's the one whenever he had the thing with the hearts, flag hearts. But even then, like that's just an incident. This looks like something that's very. You're right. Like it's just very personal. I don't know, man. This is crazy. What is because you're like Law. The way that Law looked, it legitimately looked the same way he did in Dressrosa, where. Okay, there's this type of energy where it's like, yo, this is something unique to him. But at the same time, it could be personal to him because it's personal to Korasan. We know that Korasan worked, I'm going to assume, in that division as well. So let's just say Aokiji, because there's, of course, with the theory that Law being a part of Sword, right? So if he has that connection, as Korasan did as well, within the government, then that would add a lot more if who they're talking about is actually Aokiji, because we all assume Aokiji is still working in some way, shape, or form for the... I don't know. My brain is starting to hurt, dude. This is crazy. This is crazy. I don't know. But no, you're absolutely right, Dream Kid Vic. You're absolutely right. Thank you so much for the 5, dog. Fable. Shout out to Fable coming in with a 10. Says, do you think Momonga is going to get an admin promotion after scarring Mihawk? If Momonga scarred Mihawk, Momonga better have Conqueror's coding. Alright? Momonga better have Conqueror's coding for scarring Mihawk. And if that's the case, promote him to Admiral. Because he already did more damage than Green Bull ever did. Whoever damaged Mihawk did more damage than Green Bull. I can promise you that, Skip. I can promise you that. After scarring Mihawk. So, you know, if it is Momonga, give him the promotion. Give him the promotion. I appreciate you, Fable. Thank you. Akash Panda comes with the 5 and says, I don't think it's Kuzan or Sabo. Why wouldn't they call him Aokiji or Sabo? It's probably someone whose name is not well known. So Akash Panda, you're thinking more of somebody like a Gabon, a character whom we know, but maybe we don't necessarily know they have a scar on them or a flame-shaped scar. Maybe it's something that was revealed through the newspaper, because we know, I'm going to assume Luffy has not seen the part of the newspaper that has Sabo
of course, killing Cobra and whatnot. So I'm going to assume he has not seen that. Just based on his energy in this chapter, he has not seen that part of the newspaper. So Law and Kid obviously having this information, not telling him, that could be like somewhere within the newspaper as well. There could be someone that maybe Sabo scarred, or someone that Akainu, where they are known for having having a scar of flames. So it could be someone, like you said, that's not well known. It could be a brand new character entirely, or someone like what was brought up earlier by like Vortex for Scopper Gaban, potentially. That's also very possible. So I appreciate you, Akash, man. Thank you. Alvida versus Kobe rematch. Yo, Alvida's gonna be slipping all over the place, but Kobe's nasty. Yo. So we gotta see what happens there. Bar M comes in with a membership for 6 months. It says, Robin confirms she never saw Pluton. That is facts, Bar M. That is facts. Did Shanks head straight there after the last chapter? And if that's the case, is Kaido actually down there? So it's so interesting, right? Because now we have a lot of questions. Obviously, Luffy doesn't care about Pluton, so yeah, we're not gonna find out what that is for quite some time. Maybe whenever we get to the Void Century. But what I am interested by, like you said, is the whole Shanks and Kaido thing. Because I'm going to assume that Kaido is actually down there, where Pluton is currently located. And we might actually see that in the next chapter if Oda wants to show, after we say our goodbyes, what is happening in Wano still. Like, we see like Kaido potentially still being down there. We see all that stuff happening there. So it's like, that is the... Now, when it comes to Shanks had to have gotten the Poneglyph rubbing as well. But it's like, man... Yeah. He had to have... Unless he already had it, but let's say he didn't have it, got the Poneglyph rubbing. Maybe he didn't want Pluton either. So he goes in and leaves to go to the next location, wherever the next Poneglyph is. Which I'm going to assume is either Elbaf or wherever the Flying Fauna is, Vera, wherever it is. But now I'm really, really interested in where all three of them are going, because Law, Kid, and Luffy are going on three separate islands. And they're all going after the same thing. They're all going after the Poneglyph. And I'm going to assume Luffy's going to the one where the Poneglyph is. Unless he's heading to the transitional arc before, because we have to have a palate. Every arc after a long arc is a palate cleansing arc, even if it's not like a short arc. For example, Thriller Bark, that was a palate cleanser, even though that was a long arc. But most of the time, it's always short arcs after long arcs that always serve as palate cleansers. So we have our Zoes, we have our Jayas, right? We have our Long Ring Longs. So I'm going to assume wherever we are going right now, this island that's on the map is going to be like the Sabaody of the final saga, where it's going to set up a lot of what we're going to see in the final saga. So if that's the case, it's going to be a very important island. And that would actually go into the whole Scopper Gaban thing if we are going to meet a member of Roger's crew in the same way we met a member of Rayleigh's crew. Or the same way we met Rayleigh in Sabaody. And the brain is moving, dog. The brain is moving. But thank you so much, Bar M, dog. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Yeah, Rocky Port. Thank you, Lazy Mofos. Thank you. Even Robin looks suspicious. Facts, Vortex. It's like, yo, what's going on? What's going on? So that is true, Recon. For the Celestial Dragon tattoos being marked by flames, though the Celestial Dragon tattoos are they're known as like dragon claws, right? Like that's what they're seen, even though they do have like the mark of the sun as well. So, but that's mainly for like the fishmen. So it's like for like the whole, which I'm going to assume connects to the whole Nika thing. So it's like if that's the case, then I don't know if they would necessarily be known as individuals that are marked by flames. But it's like, who out there that we know is marked by flames? Besides the people we've already talked about. Right? That is true, Shard the Dank. It might be somebody who's just like personal to Luffy. Joshua Man says it might be Loki, the Prince of Elbaf. So it would be a character that's already been talked about. We haven't seen yet. I could definitely see that being the case. Carter Curry citing automatic 10 out of 10. That's facts, Derek Davis. That's hard facts. Yo, Saint Gospel, Recon.exe has definitely stopped working. I can promise you that. If the Law and Luffy alliance truly ends here, it's the end of an era, but we all know Law will remain a straw hat. That's fact spicy. We all know Law is going to remain a straw hat until the end of time. Until the end of time. You know, Eric Reed, I'm thinking the same. Elbaf is not going to be the next. At this point, after what I saw in this week's chapter, where we're heading now, like I said, is going to be the transitional arc that's going to take us wherever after that. But I definitely don't... Now that I know that the next island is not going to be one that we're specifically heading towards, that we're just picked out of a straw... It's gotta be a short arc. But, you know, and Elbaf could obviously, of course, be a short arc as well. But I don't think they're just gonna stumble upon Elbaf like that. They could, and that would be crazy. But I guess we'll find out. Where's the Straw Crew bounties? So Zachary Burner, I think it's gonna be one of those things to where we go around the world. Because remember, the only reason why they even saw Luffy's of one of the four emperors, as well as the 3 billion bounty for all three of the captains is because it was brought to their attention. I don't even think they've seen the newspaper. So if they have not seen the newspaper, obviously they haven't seen the Sabo news, they haven't seen the rest of the bounties, so it's like they only know those. So I'm going to assume once we head into the next island, what I think is going to happen in this next island, honestly, we're about to have a Jaya situation. Well, remember back in Jaya, when we left Alabasta, we didn't know our bounties. We didn't know any of them. Am I remember that correctly? I know we didn't remember Luffy's, or we didn't know Luffy's at the time. So whenever we left Alabasta, we didn't know Luffy's bounty until he walloped Bellamy, and we got to see that he was the 100 million berry man. So I feel like whenever we go to the next island, because I do believe if the next island is going to be to hype up the Straw Hats as an official member of the Four Emperors, when they pull up, they're going to be shook. They're going to be like, oh my god, that's the Mugiwara, this is the Straw Hat crew, this is about to get crazy. So that's whenever someone might pull out like a piece of paper and be like, that's Roronoa Zoro. He has blooded blank billion berry bounty, or you know what I'm saying, or Sanji's bounty, or you know, I feel like they're going to be shown off in that way. Whenever the Straw Hats show up at the next island, maybe we see their new designs heading into the next island with their bounties. And that would be a more of a unique way of showing off their bounties rather than just having them all on the wall the way that we saw them like back in Dressrosa, for example. That'd be a more creative way to show them off. Already knowing what Luffy's bounty is, now we just gotta know what the rest of their bounties are. And I feel like that's the route that we're heading towards, because we know they're gonna get their bounty increase. We know they're all gonna get bounty increases after this. But that also, because that what I'm trying to get to is because they were in an isolated island like Wano, the only reason why they got the information in the first place was because they had someone getting information from the outside. So it's like, if they don't know about the Sabo thing, then why would they know about the bounties too? So at least that's my mindset. So going into the next island, it's gonna be just like Fishman Island too. Like even outside of Jaya, Fishman Island. Remember, whenever we went in there, we were like, "Oh my goodness, Luffy has a what bounty? A 400 mil on his head?" So it's like, within the next arc, we could potentially find out what the rest of the bounties are through other individuals, and I can most certainly see that being the case at this point. And it would be a more creative way to do it, and that way we don't have all of that happen here, and it would add more to the next arc. So that's the way that's the reason why I think we haven't gotten the Strahd bounties yet. Fable comes in with a 5. Shout out to Fable and says Rock's pirate flag has a... Oh, man. Rock's pirate flag has a flaming skull marked by flames. Rock's being marked by flames. See, I've been thinking so much about Rock's lately. His endgame importance. What we're gonna see with Rock's here down the line. And it's like... Because of course there's the whole, instant messenger Sama Rock's thing, obviously, that's still very possible. but a remnant of, if not Rox himself, if Rox is already dead, then Rox is already dead. But a remnant, or members of the Rox Pirates being individuals known as people who have been marked by flames. That is very fascinating. Very, very fascinating. Fable, that is, I like that idea. That's very outside the box. I like that idea a lot. Thank you so much for that. I like that idea a lot. Being marked by flames. Rox Pirates, yo. That's a really interesting theory. Syndratic W chapter facts. Hard facts. Michael Mickles coming to membership for 8 months. Goodness gracious. Shout out to my boy Michael. Hope you fully recovered, King. I haven't fully recovered, but the hype has me real, brother. The hype has me here, yo. You feel me? Nice to see you. It's crazy that no one is asking the most important question is, did Raizo get a glow up too? We're going to see the glow up from Raizo. We're going to see it, but I'm 100% on board with the Aokiji agenda. Me too. It would connect this entire story full circle to the very beginning of the post-time skip with, not only with the Caribou stuff, but also if this really is Aokiji they're talking about. And that would explain why Robin was shown in that panel too, and also why there's a connection to the entire crew here. So I could definitely see that being the case. Now, where that connects to Law himself, who knows? Who knows? That's very interesting. Very, very interesting. But most certainly, man, Raizo, we'll see his glow up for sure. We'll definitely see his glow up soon, and maybe even next chapter, right? But thank you so much for that, Michael, dog. I appreciate you. It's great to see you too, man. Bar M comes in with a 5 and says, last dope spread with Luffy, Law, and Kid was amazing. Facts. I love the color spread. The colored version of that. Did they mention which needle was moving the most is the most dangerous island? Did they see that? Let me see. And we already know Luffy's going to the most dangerous island. That's gonna... Whoa! My laptop's about to die and it was too much peak. Yo, this thing almost died on me, coach. Alright, let's go back. Dude, yeah, this chapter was great, man. This chapter was great. I'm very curious on what Oda's going to do with the whole Pluton plotline now. But regardless, let's, man, Momonosuke, dude. So yeah, here we go. And we get to, we see them right here, and we see exactly where they're going to be heading. Northeast, east, southeast. And I'm going to assume, like I said, just based on everything that was here, Kid is actually the one going into the middle. Law is going to be going to the left, and then Luffy's going to the right. But it just makes me so curious. It's like, what are those islands? And then Usopp is like, who cares? They're all dangerous. This Buggy panel is sick, dude. Buggy, Mihawk, and Crocodile, son. Nuts, man. This chapter, dude. This chapter is something, dude. Thank you so much for that, Bar M, dog. I appreciate you. Could Marked by Flames relate to the Lunarians somehow? That is true, Ninja Pop. Or Ninja Pope, I apologize. That is true. Like, being marked by flames could most certainly relate to the Lunarians in some way, shape, or form. Christian Barraza comes in with a 10. Shout out to Christian Barraza. Thank you so much for that. It seems that the members of Cross Guild are all former enemies of the Straw Hats. Croc, Buggy, Mihawk, and their crews. Daz Bones, Mr. 3, do you think we'll see other former enemies as members? That's actually really interesting. So it'll be like the Impel Down squad on top of other former enemies, right? So if let's just say if anyone else were to join, it'll be other individuals that the Straw Hats have whooped. And are like, you know what? Let's just align. But the thing is, because the Cross Guild, the idea behind the Cross Guild, what I want to know is who labeled them that. I'm going to assume that it was some outer force named them that. And Mihawk, Crocodile, and Buggy, or Mihawk and Crocodile are known as being aligned with Buggy, because that's my assumption. This is an alliance that is being seen as these three individuals have the same type of goal, because like Zoro said in this chapter, excuse me, it was the same thing I thought too. That's what when I saw that, because when I saw Mihawk, I thought these were just showing the Shichibukai. When I saw the cross guild thing, I was like, what? So I was like, well, it should have hit me. Crocodiles don't even remember the Shichibukai anymore. It should have hit me immediately. I don't know, man. When I guess just seeing Buggy and Mihawk just fried my brain. But Mihawk being a part of anyone's crew just doesn't make any sense to me, considering the type of individual he is. Mihawk has the Ricardo Martinez energy, shout out to Hajime no Ippo, of like being someone who is at the very top, right, but lives a lonely life. And so that's where I always felt the Zoro versus Mihawk thing was going to go for, right, where Zoro is carrying the legacy of not only Kuina, but also as the right-hand man of the future king of the pirates. Like, he has his own dream, the dream of his captain, and the dream of Kuina, all there, which represents the three blades, going against Mihawk's one blade. And I thought it was going to be Oda's way of showcasing that the weight that Zoro's blades carry is way more than Mihawk's weight, even with all the weight that his has. And whenever he defeats him, it would be the journey that Zoro has been on since the moment he was defeated up until this point, on top of all of that, all of the weight that has been placed on there up until this point from the other characters that he's currently fighting for, along, of course, with his journey and his path to becoming the world's strongest swordsman being at the very top of the list. So it's like, I always felt that's why Mihawk was never even going to join Shanks' crew. I remember when that was a big theory, Mihawk joining Shanks' crew, and I was always like, as awesome as that would be, I can't see it, because for me it was always going to be Mihawk by himself, no one else with him. Of course, Perona was with him, but technically not a part of his crew. So it's like, it's just Mihawk, just this dude, just this lone dude, and then Zoro with the weight of so many other, with all of that, right, up against him. And that's why I always felt that Mihawk was never going to join anyone. But when I saw this week's chapter, it brought back like the whole, when the alliance concept was first introduced, and now it really made me think, it's like, maybe, because there's way more to this, right? There's obviously way more to this. This is why Buggy became an emperor. It has to be. This is why Buggy became an emperor, or at least a major reason why Buggy became an emperor. And it's like, now we're seeing that Mihawk, Crocodile, and Buggy all have a similar type of goal, or they're seen as people who are in this, I don't know, I can't wait to see what's going to come out of this. But the idea of the Cross Guild is so cool, because you're right, like, these are former enemies of the Straw Hats, and even current enemies of the Straw Hats, but also could include even more former enemies down the line, which would be very interesting. Like, I don't ever see, like, someone like I don't think we'll ever see, like, I don't know, Captain Kuro or Don Krieg, or that would be wild if they joined that crew too. Like, basically, like, everybody Luffy's ever defeated just joins this thing. I don't think we'll see them, but I can definitely see someone, like, whenever Dofi gets released out of prison, I could most certainly see him joining this Cross Guild. Just knowing he just wants a world flame and burned down, and that would just add on to it, so I could most certainly see him doing that. But it's like, the former enemies concept is so interesting. You're absolutely right. Like, it's going to be the Impel Down squad that he was with, which was already filled with people that he defeated before, of squads of people that he defeated before. And now we have Big Croc and Mihawk under Buggy, or at least in that same alliance, because we don't even know what this Cross Guild is. But the idea is so interesting to me. I love the idea. Like, I really, really love the idea of the Cross Guild. But thank you so much for that, Christian. I appreciate you. Yo, Buggy does look insane, Barem. Like, I love it. I love the energy Buggy's giving off from this chapter. It's so good. Buggy ends up recruiting Dofi instead of Bonchan. Can you imagine that, DJ? That'd be great. Cross Guild probably has the same HR guy as Baroque Works. They have the same agent. It's like Rich Paul hooked him up. Rich Paul connected them together. It's like whenever Anthony Davis went to the Lakers. Like, yeah, we're gonna make it happen eventually. You know, we have the same client, we have the same agents, so they ended up connecting. That's wild. The power of friendship in his blades. You're talking about the whole Zoro thing? Like, no, seriously, like, I genuinely thought that was going to be, like, a part of that storyline. Like, Zoro having 3 blades representing the amount of weight that was going to... That was on top of all 3. And that was especially reflected in Wrestle Chapter 1033. And the journey that all 3 of his blades are eventually going to have to go towards by the time he faces Mihawk. So like he has the weight of all of those battle experiences on top of the dreams of 2 other individuals besides his own. So he has all of that against Mihawk's sole dream. And I'm going to assume whatever is driving Mihawk is out of this world for him to have reached the top of the swordsman game. So it's like it's just that was the way I always saw that. But the power of friendship in his blade is hilarious. That is hilarious. Mihawk joining definitely gives an excuse for Zoro and Mihawk to meet again. That's for sure. That's for sure. Yes, yo, Fwala Peasy. That is something that when I saw that, I was like, yo, Buggy is moving different. The fact that they're issuing bounties on the Marines is crazy. Like I said, it's a revolution. We've never seen that. The fact that now, like Kid stated in this chapter, the hunters are being hunted is nuts. And the fact that it's Mihawk is crazy to me. That is crazy to me, yo. Like, the fact that that's Buggy, Mihawk, and Crocodile that are hunting the Marines, that's so dope, yo. Marines need a W, incoming SSJ. No, man, the SSG is coming. The SSG is coming. Absolutely. Buggy a Goat Rose putting bounties on Marines has facts. That's just so crazy. I think Buggy found Captain John's treasure. I mean, if he already did, then that would explain a lot of this, honestly. It really would. What's driving Mihawk? OCD? At this point, right? It's just OCD. Joel says, is Chopper not going to cure Smile? You know something? That's actually a very good point, Joel. Maybe at this point in time, that's not something that's going to be addressed. Or something that, like Chopper, maybe that's why Oda decided to give Chopper the whole Ice Oni part of the story, because he's not going to be able to cure Smile, at the very least not yet. Because I'm going to assume whenever we make that last go around in the world, when we visit Wano again, maybe he does it then. But for right now, I have no answers as to why Chopper is not going to cure Smile. Maybe it really is just as simple as that. Like, Oda just said, I'm going to have him do this in this arc because I already know I'm not going to have him cure Smile. So, who knows? Buggy's going to end up becoming king of the world at the end of the series, who will replace Emu. I'm still in that theory. So you think he's going to sit in the empty throne? That'd be sick. That'd be sick. Sora says Buggy used Uno reversing the Marines. As he should. As he should. Yo, Grandland Orchestra. This chapter was crazy, yo. Monkey Man 117 with the legendary Buggy in the profile picture. The world is changing. The world is truly changing. The world is changing, yo. I meant that it is weird to refer to someone by their scar rather than their epithet. That is true. It's like referring to Luffy as a man with a scar. That's a good point, Akash Panda. That's actually a very, very good point. Like, so earlier in your super chat where you were talking about that, like, you're absolutely right. Like, Aokiji is definitely known. Aokiji and Sabo are both known by epithets that are not men marked by flames. One of them's a flame emperor. The other one's a former admiral. So it's like, you're absolutely right. That's a great point. Like why would they refer to somebody like that in that way? It would be like, just like you said, Luffy being referred to as the man with a scar under his eye. Any thoughts on what a Kobe bounty would look like post the Boa situation? Oh, so Kobe's bounty, because the Marines are getting bounties now. That's actually a good point. So That's why we didn't get bounties this chapter. You just made me think about that, Tay. That's why we didn't get bounties this chapter. We're about to have a 957 times 3. Because chapter 957 gave us the bounties of the greatest pirates in the history of the verse, right? But the next time that we see bounties, aside from if Oda does it in the creative way we were talking about earlier, but if he's going to give us another bounty chapter like 957, I'm going to assume that would be when we saw both sides. Because we would see bounties on both the pirate side and the marine side. So that would probably be the chapter where we would see bounties of individuals like, of course, our crew, but seeing Mihawk's bounty, Hancock's bounty, Crocodile's bounty, Buggy's bounty. All these bounties, right? And then also on the marine side, we would be seeing bounties that are currently given out by Buggy. So we will be seeing bounties on both sides. And maybe that's why we didn't get that in this chapter. Because the idea was brought up in this chapter. That would be a crazy chapter. Could you imagine getting bounties for pirates and marines in the same chapter? Oof. That sounds fun. That sounds like a fun chapter, yo. I'm not gonna lie. That sounds like a really, really fun chapter. Hell, Meppo finna have a bigger bounty than Greenpool. Yo, Derek Davis, that would be facts. That would be facts. When are we gonna see Vegapunk? We're in the final saga. It could be any time. At any time. We could see Vegapunk. Dable says, Buggy made a lot of money filling the hole Doflamingo left when he got defeated. We don't know any other major crews moving like Buggy in the underworld. So, absolutely. Absolutely. You're absolutely right. Like, once Doflamingo went down, Buggy really was the guy who took over and really started moving different in the underworld. 100%. Marines being hunted. Now Mihawk is a bounty hunter like Zoro. That's true, Scar. That's facts. Yo, Sage. What's good, bro? I'm late, but the Buggy reveal in the Man Marked by Flames has me so hyped, dude. It's a good time to be a fan, bro. Like, that Buggy reveal was so good because, we were wondering. And I remember when that chapter dropped, for Buggy being revealed to be one of the Emperors, a lot of you guys were saying, what about if Mihawk joined his crew? And that would explain why he's one of the 4 Emperors. And obviously there's more to this entire situation, but having Mihawk and Crocodile as part of that cross guild with him definitely adds a lot to Buggy's stocks. More than his stocks were already high, right? Like, Buggy was already moving different. And now you move all other powerful players within the verse. It's like, man. But absolutely, bro. That was so good. Luffy cured the smile by giving them a reason to smile, laugh, and love again. Love life again. They're no longer smiling, laughing in pain. That's also a very good point, Follow Peasy. So it'd be more of a... They were healed... They were like, now they don't have to suffer or like hide their suffering or laugh and instead be suffering. Like, now they can actually laugh. Like, now when they smile and they laugh, like, it's gonna be genuine. You know what I mean? I can see that. I can see that being the case. Chapter 957 times 3 is gonna be the maximum ultimate chapter, as it should. It most certainly as it should. You know what I mean? It's probably gonna be like the it's gonna be called like ultimate. If the last chapter was called the ultimate, because next chapter, I'm going to assume, is going to be the like I said, Yamato and the bye bye with Momo and then, like, we're probably not going to see anything else next chapter besides that. We're going to finish Wano completely next chapter. An extremely emotional goodbye. And in the following chapter, that could be the one. That could be the one, dude. That could be the one, yo. That would be crazy. So it's like, yeah, if it is chapter 957 times 3, and we do have both pirates and marines all getting bounties, might as well just call it ultimate again. Seriously. Legit. Maximum ultimate or something. I hope with the marine bounties, the bounty hunter system might come back. Thomas, I'm down for the bounty hunter system as long as it has some sort of connection to the final saga and like the rest of the story, right? Like if Oda hasn't used it up until this point, and we're just gonna bring it into the final saga and just introduce more characters, I don't want that. But if it's going to be brought in as an actual like great way to propel some sort of narrative in the future, I would love it, because the bounty hunter concept has been one of the biggest missed opportunities in One Piece. To have like more bounty hunters within the world outside of the characters that we already know. So if we are to get more bounty hunters in the final saga, I don't want it to just be like shoehorned in just to have it for the sake, right? Like, if it's gonna have consequences for the narrative, I'm all for it, 100%. I bet Sanji's new bounty photo is gonna be his Germa 66 suit. I would love that just because it would have Luffy and the Nika form, at Gear 5th, and then if we have Sanji in his Germa suit, that would also be really cool too. I'll take it. I'll definitely take it. If this means we're finally gonna get more Crocodile content, I'm happy. Me too, Sage. Me too. Yo, Tay, welcome to the Kingdom of Santa Hats. Actually, where is my Santa? Dude, this chapter had me losing my mind. I forgot to put on my Santa hat. Yo, welcome. Welcome to the Kingdom of Santa Hats. I appreciate you, Tay. Lost Marimo says, I wonder how strong Crocodile got. Dog, I mean, Crocodile at this point is probably rocking some. Crocodile already showcased an insane proficiency of his fruit pre-time skip. So, like, I would love to see Crocodile utilize even more of that here whenever we see him again post-time skip. Or we already, of course, we've seen him post-time skip, but we haven't seen him, like, outside of, like, movies or specials really utilize his abilities post-time skip. So, I'm curious on next time we see him, now knowing more about Haki and Awakenings and Devil Fruits, I look forward to seeing how Crocodile, like you said, is going to evolve. Because knowing how ambitious Crocodile is, he's not satisfied with, especially after a loss, and after what happened in Marineford and Impel Down. Like, he's probably been working on his craft. And so if that's the case, next time we see Crocodile, he's going to be nasty. He's going to be nasty, but he doesn't have to be nasty from a fighting standpoint. He just needs to continue being nasty up here. Because that's what makes Crocodile so interesting. Is this up here. Like, Crocodile's mind is incredible. So when he combines his mind with his skill, I can't wait to see more from Crocodile, man. I really can't wait to see more from Crocodile. Because Crocodile for me has always been, like, Crocodile's in that tier for me as, like, Dragon and Shanks and Instant Messenger Sama and these characters that are so fascinating to me that I just want to find out more about them. Crocodile, for me, gets more and more interesting as the series progresses. Because the more implications there are for his past and his backstory, and, like, I'll never forget whenever it was all those ideas brought up in Marineford and Impel Down with, like, him and Ivankov and that conversation, right, which was when Luffy's mother theory was brought up. But, like, that entire very interesting part of Crocodile's past that we don't know about, on top of why it is that he wanted Pluton in the first place, outside of course, just being like a villain's plan. Like, we know there's more to it, especially whenever we see individuals like Whitebeard looking at him and be like, yo, Crocodile, you still breathing? You still moving? You still out here? So it's like, obviously, Crocodile's always been a very, very important and mysterious figure within the verse. We just don't know enough. And so I can't wait to find out more about Crocodile. Yo, Subra, what's good? Just finished the chapter. Goat, last week I said Caribou was going to do something. I asked you, is Caribou... And that is facts. You did ask me last week during, I believe it was the chapter stream, right? Like, what is Caribou doing? Yo, he really is moving here, right? He's just doing something. Scar says, I wonder what Mihawk and Crocodile are thinking after they saw Buggy being called their leader. I know Crocodile wouldn't like that. Mihawk might just laugh it off. Mihawk won't care. And we know Mihawk is not dominated by anyone else, but you know he just take it as like, who cares? You know, they ain't boxing me, they ain't telling me nothing. But Crocodile definitely wouldn't like that. You're absolutely right. But in terms of Buggy being known as their leader, it's so interesting because it feels like this is what's happening. This is very similar to the whole Luffy Kid and Law thing, right? where they're clearly rivals, but Luffy is the one above the two of them for sure. And Law's a member of his crew. I don't care what anybody says. So it's like you have these three individuals. They're considered to be equals, but we know, especially now that Luffy's an emperor and the other two are not. It's like we know he's the clear leader there. So it's like they're implying that Buggy's the clear leader out of these three. It's just so fascinating to me. That's the case. Fable says chapter 1057 titled The Zenith. Imagine. That would be peak. That would be peak. Brandon King says, I feel like Buggy making Marine bounties, Oda telling us that the Marines are the enemies of this story going forward, and we have to fight next. Absolutely. I mean, from here on out, it is the main pirates that we have to face, of course, is the rivalries that we've already made, as well as Blackbeard. And considering, and we already know we're going to have to box Shanks, whether in a friendly way or an enemy way, depending on the side of the spectrum you're in, or maybe even Buggy. So it's like the other emperors obviously are the ones that we have to box down the line, and then either before that or after that, the Marines are going to get very heavily involved here soon. So it's like they're definitely going to be the main enemies that we're going to be tackling from here on out for sure. Zoro in his Ashura form for his poster. Ooh, that would be nasty Last Modi mode. Nasty, dude. I would love that. Yo, Recon, are you going to try pulling Uta on the Super Sugo? Uta? Super Sugo Fest? What you talking about? Drona, what you talking about? Uta? Super Sugo Fest? What you talking about? What you mean? What you mean, yo? What you mean? Dude, I've been off social media all week. Like, anything that has not been sent my way, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, if Uta was announced earlier this week, I didn't see it. Yeah, that's a good point, Fable. Like, there really is no line. They're definitely two sides of the same coin, even more so than before. By the way, I love your reaction to Shinobu Timeskip. Well, Shinobu Timeskip design looks crazy. Looks goated. Some of the Straw Hats might get new episodes along with their bounties that be hyped. Yeah, Derek Davis, I honestly think they are, which is why I was bringing up the idea earlier about like them being reintroduced with their new designs going into the new arc with their new bounties. Right, like very similar to Jaya. I would love that. And if they were to get the new epithets, they're taking them into the final saga. That would just be super cool. Crocodile's the One Piece Aizen. Who really is the One Piece Aizen? I mean, we all think it's Shanks, right? But Crocodile has been scheming for a long time. Yeah, Crocodile being under Buggy is insane. I wouldn't be surprised if putting bounties on Marines was his idea. Yeah, Tay, 100%. Like, that's something so crazy that I could definitely see Buggy being the one to be like, yeah, let's do that. I have Mihawk under me. There's nothing we can't do. There's nothing we can't do. OC Azibi says, I'm not gonna lie, Zoe is finished with Carrot as the leader. Couldn't be Perospito when Blackbeard comes with that Zoe Poneglyph is over. That's facts. I feel sorry for Zoe, man. That is sad but true. While people learned hockey, Crocodile studied the sand. As he should. As he should. Crocodile could suck up all the freshwater in Wano and collect the Pluton. He most certainly could. Actually, I would really like to see that, actually. Crocodile saying Stride Peak. So, Super, we were talking about that earlier. I'm honestly thinking that the Straw Hat bounties are either going to come at the same time that we get the other bounties. So, this week we got the introduction of the Marines now have bounties on their heads. So, it's like we're going to have now the Marine bounties on top of the Pirate bounties. So, I'm sure either we're going to get, like we were talking about earlier, an Ultimate chapter again with a lot of bounty reveals in one chapter, or the Straw Hat bounties are going to be saved from when we get to the next island, and the Straw Hats are reintroduced with their new bounties. Like, holy Flagnars, that's Zoro with a blank, blank, blank bounty, and Robin with a blank, blank, blank bounty, you know? Coming from, because they haven't seen the newspaper themselves. All they've been shown from the newspaper is the fact that Luffy is a part of the four emperors now. I'm going to assume they have not seen the Sabo stuff based on their energy in this chapter. So if they didn't see the Sabo stuff, they haven't seen any of the bounties either. This was a great chapter, the Ashen Samurai. I agree. This is a great chapter. I can't wait to see Luffy's decision and Yamato trial join the crew 100%. When I saw that thing on this chapter and I saw no break, but then of course we have a break, a magazine break. But I was like, man, next chapter is going to be the Yamato joining chapter and the goodbye. Like, next chapter is going to be so beautiful. Like, this next upcoming special chapter is going to be so good because this next chapter, I'm going to assume, is going to completely wrap up Wano with Momonosuke and Kinemon's goodbye with the Straw Hats. With, of course, Yamato's trial and wanting to join the crew. So that's going to be a really beautiful thing. And then on top of all the other stuff that Oda's going to put in there. And then the fall, because if next chapter is going to be the 902, the goodbye in Alabasta, the goodbye in Whole Cake, like all those, like the emotional goodbye scenes to finish an arc with like the dawn in the background, whatever, right? Next chapter has the potential to be a phenomenal chapter. But after that, that's whenever we start heading into true post-arc material. So as we head into the next island, it's going to be spooky because then we could truly go all around the world. And we won't be, tied here to Wano. So then after that, we could literally see anything. Once we leave Wano, we can transition anywhere around the world for those next couple chapters. As we start constructing the narrative for the final saga, or continuing that for the final saga, the setup for the final saga. So it's like, man, that chapter after that, I'm telling y'all, like we were joking earlier that the chapter could be titled The Zenith. The chapter after that emotional goodbye really could be the Zenith. It really, really could be. Yo, Final Destiny, enjoy the chapter. Enjoy the chapter, yo. Enjoy the chapter. It's funny how Luffy doesn't care about positions of power, but he would brag about his Emperor title to the kid. It's just, you know what it is, Akash Panda? It's whenever you personally don't care about, cause especially in Luffy's case, not caring about that, but he loves the idea of like having these titles, right? Like he's a kid in that way, and we're all kids in that way, right? Like whenever it's like you could say, oh man, I don't care about this and that, but whenever you actually have it, and then you have somebody who consider your rival, and he's talking trash, you're gonna use it over them. You're gonna use it over them. Like, yeah, I'm an emperor, you're not. What you mean, dog? Get out of here, you know? Like, especially for someone who's like bickering with you as a brother, you're gonna use it 100%. And I found it to be so funny. That's definitely a part of the joke there, and I love that. We're reading Yamato's bounty next arc. We definitely have to. I don't think Yamato's gonna have any bounty coming out of this arc. I think the only I feel like Yamato joining the crew is an indication that these bounties, on top of Luffy already having the 3 bill, which we already know is not his final bounty. So on top of that, Yamato joining is also an indication that we're gonna have another set of bounties down the line before Luffy becomes King of the Pirates, or as he becomes King of the Pirates. That's actually very interesting, Tay. That's actually very interesting. So Tay says, could the man marked by flames be related to the scar on Killer's arm? We know he got it somewhere in the timescape because he didn't have one before that. And also be their way of reading the poneglyphs. And if that's the case, then that would explain why Killer and Kid know this information when Luffy does not. So that is very interesting, Tay. Very, very interesting. It's like this individual marked by flames could be so many different people. But I can most certainly see Oda going even that far deep for something like that. That's very interesting. Can't wait until the live action gets here. I'm looking forward to a trailer. I'm looking forward to seeing them just living out their roles, right? Spicy says, I'm so excited to see where we go next. So many possibilities, Spicy. Like, so many possibilities. Exactly, Lost Smarty Mo. Like, it's refreshing to not know what happens next. And, you know, I've loved this saga we've been on ever since Punk Hazard. Getting to this point has been so much fun. We always knew we were going to get to Wano. But it's like, after Wano, the only thing we know is that at some point we have to get to Lodestar, which is going to take us to Laugh Tale. That's the only thing we know from here on out to the end of the series. Nothing else is guaranteed. You know, we all assume Elbaf is a guarantee, but And it's good. We have to go to Elbaf. So it's like Elbaf, Lodestar, and Laugh-Tale. We have to visit those. I mean, Lodestar is not a guarantee, quote unquote. Even though I think it is a guarantee, but Laugh-Tale is the guarantee, right? So it's like from here on out, especially since we're going into this next island that was just picked out of luck, or good luck or bad luck, but regardless, this is something that we're just going to for an adventure. So it's like, it's really refreshing, not only just with the stuff with the Straw Hats going into the next island, but just around the world. Because now we have no idea. Like, it's just, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun not knowing where we're going next. It's super cool. Do you think, so Brandon King, I do. I definitely do think that Yamato's trial will be very similar to Odin's, in holding on to the 1,000 Sunnies just like Odin did, 100%. I think that's actually going to be a part of the next transition arc. Maybe in the next chapter, Luffy says no to Yamato. We say the goodbye to them, to Momonosuke and Kinemon, and Yamato supposedly as well. And then when next time we see the Straw Hats, we're going to see Yamato hanging on the same way that Odin did, going through a similar type of trial, even though it will be different because, of course, Yamato is his own person, and he's going to have her own trial in comparison to Odin's. But I definitely do think that that's going to be a part of the transition arc, taking us into the next arc. Is Yamato officially joining in that way and getting the respect of everybody in the crew and stuff like that. Yes, exactly, DJ. He loves the title of being the Pirate King. Exactly. Like, he wouldn't let anyone take that from him. Yeah, exactly, Akash. Like, he doesn't want to be a hero. He doesn't care about all that. Have you read SPS 103? I'm going to. There's an important flashback there. Okay, then most certainly I will definitely give it a read. Pura vida, I'm getting VV vibes from Yamato not joining. Am I being too pessimistic? Absolutely not. I mean, at this point, our end, the way I treat Yamato joining is the same way that I treat, like, anything in the Final Saga, right? Even, like, Law and Kid not being a part of here. Like, the reason why I'm not getting extremely, like, oh, man, I'm not going to see these characters, because we're in the Final Saga. In the Final Saga, we're going to see everyone again. Part-timers are going to become full-timers. Everyone who we've always known in the series is going to get screen time here. So even if characters don't end up joining the crew, we're going to see them so much, it's going to feel like they already are, right? So it's like, Yamato for me is already a part of the Strides. Like, Yamato for me is, even if Yamato doesn't officially join, which I'm going to assume that she is, but just hypothetically speaking, if Yamato doesn't join, and it is a Vivi situation, I still see characters like Vivi, Law, and Yamato to be Strides anyway. Especially end of Saga, or Final Saga. So that's a Cold Skill 4 and a Saga, but Final Saga stuff. So it's like, we're going to see these characters anyway. So even if she doesn't necessarily join the crew, we're going to see them again. Right? We're going to see all of these characters again. And we're at the end, basically. So, with that being said, though, I think that this is giving heavy Vivi vibes, but Yamato is going to join based on because Vivi stayed behind, and that was her own decision, right? Like, that was her own decision to continue to rule her country. Yamato is going to join based on her own decision as well. So that is going to be the main difference between Yamato and Vivi in that regard. Exactly, Fable. Exactly. That's literally what the gag's going to be. Yo, Prime Alvida was good. Yo, the chapter was great. Yamato will definitely try to go like Odin, but will definitely drown because of the fruit. You know, Scar, and I think that's going to be a part of the joke. Like, it's going to be trying to do everything that Odin did, but not being able to because of the fruit. That would be hilarious. I would love that. It's like trying so hard to be Odin, but we know how Yamato is, and she's going to end up being herself, and I would love that. I'm down for that, 110%. Cross Guild is missing the most important Baroque Works member, Bonchan. That's facts. Hard facts. We need Bonchan again. Carrot getting the Vivi treatment, but worse. Yo, like I said earlier, Shreyas, have no worries about Carrot not joining either. It's the final saga. We're gonna see these characters. We're gonna see them all the time. Let me say it clearly. How much do you think the Admirals are worth according to Cross Guild? The Admirals, they're about to have like Yonko level bounties. Yo, all of the Admirals, I'm going to assume Akainu is gonna have the highest, and then we're gonna have like the others be around the same, the same type. Now I wonder now on that topic with the Admirals. Who is going to be the one to issue a bounty for Aokiji? Is it going to be the Marines, or is it going to be Buggy? So is Aokiji going to have a bounty on his head on the side of the pirates, or on the side of the Marines? I think that'll be really interesting. I think that's actually a very, very interesting idea. Because like, oh, what is he going to end up being? You know? So now that we know Luffy's bounty, what do you think about Zoro's and Sanji's name and Mihawk's? So Zoro and Sanji's, I definitely think they're going to be in the same, like around the same king and queen type of thing. I definitely see Zoro's being 1 bill plus. Same thing with Sanji. But in regards to Mihawk, I think Mihawk is going to have... Dog, it's Mihawk, you know? Like... I don't care what they base bounties on. That's a dangerous man to have out there, man. That's a dangerous man, dude. You know what I mean? That's an easy. I don't care what the requirements for. That's an easy 2.5 bill. Easy. And I'm being very generous. All right, very generous. I think Mihawk could go further north than that. But just knowing the focus on crews and crewmates whenever they think about these bounties and captains having these other crew members, alliances, especially knowing this whole Buggy concept, with Buggy being the leader of this alliance and whatnot, like, all that's going to play a factor in being the Mihawk's bounty. But it does fascinate me. Like, I want to see Buggy's bounty, because I feel like once we see Buggy's, we'll be able to have unless we see Mihawk's first, and then we see Buggy's after. But I think Mihawk, easy 2-point-something billion. Easy. I mean, it's Mihawk. You know what I mean? Aokiji double bounty, the real most wanted character. That would be really cool, actually. I would actually really like that. You know, Sora, that's facts. It's like, who's gonna try to box Garp and Akainu willingly besides like the top tiers? And even the top tiers, like even individuals like Shanks or Luffy or any of these individuals, like they're not gonna have a reason to box him until later on in the final saga anyway. But it's just the idea behind it that's so interesting. Like, imagine Buggy just putting like an insane bounty on one of them. Like, yeah, I don't want to box Akainu. Just put like 10 million on his head. Like, I don't want to box him. Just put 10 million on Akainu's head, man. Screw it. Like, just screw it, yo. Who cares? Just put 10 mil. Yeah, DJ, exactly. Like we're gonna see all of these characters, especially in the final saga, which is the culmination of everything. And that double page spread with all the characters is gonna be sick. It's gonna be sick. Both? Scar? You might be right. It might be both. It might be both. Buggy putting hits out on the Marines? Facts, Bird and Gene. It's kind of crazy when you think about it. Like, Buggy's putting hits on the Marines. That's nuts. Imagine Buggy having a higher bounty than Luffy. At this point, if they really see Buggy as a massive, massive threat, I wouldn't even be surprised. I would not even be surprised if Buggy having a higher bounty than Luffy. I really wouldn't, Lavish. I could honestly see, because I think every Yonko is about to have a bounty increase. Even Shanks. I feel like Luffy's about to be the Yonko with the lowest bounty heading into the final saga. I most certainly see Blackbeard having a major exponential increase heading into the final saga. Shanks, if it doesn't move, it doesn't move. That one could be an if. But Buggy, I think is going to. I think either Buggy or Luffy's going to have the lowest bounty. Could be the same. But Buggy having a higher bounty than Luffy, it would not surprise me in the slightest. It'd be hilarious. Yo, if that's the case, Ninja Pope, then Akainu really is in shambles. If the Buggy Ball is splitting atoms, Akainu and the rest of the verse is in shambles. Grant Pilkington says, I like the idea of Fire Guy being Rox D. I mean, somebody, I believe it was Fable, that was talking about earlier about the Rox emblem, and that makes a lot of sense. If that is the case, about to get into some crazy stuff here soon, yo. Crazy stuff. Yo, Andres Gonzalez, what's good? Yo, King the Sky here. I still need to read the chapter, so I'll catch the stream after that. I read the chapter and I already know it's going to be a banger. It is going to be a banger, Andres Gonzalez. Go read the chapter, yo. Go read the chapter. We need a pirate equivalent of brand new. I'll be the pirate equivalent of brand new. Put me, yo, if I can do the whole thing. I can do the whole shebang. I can do the buggy. If you need me to, I can hype up the admirals. I can, you know something? If we need somebody to hype up anyone in One Piece, I'm your guy. But if we need a pirate equivalent of brand new who is going to be hyping up the admirals, I'll call up either Matt B or Brago for the admirals. Yo, my boys will hype up the admirals to the moon and back. You know, that'll be the pirates equivalent of brand new on that end. Presenting here, Borsalino. Massive behind bounty on your heads. That'd be a lot of fun, dude. No lie. I feel on the fact that we will see everyone's final saga. However, I want a chill arc with our crew. I feel, Atmosphere. And I honestly do think the next arc is going to be a chill arc. I most certainly see that being a chill arc. All of us together. Going to have Jinbei and Yamato, of course, getting accustomed to being a part of the crew. We're going to have everybody with new designs, new bounties. Like, next arc has a lot of potential to be that chill arc. That really fun adventure type of arc. Imagine. Buggy probably has an unsecured Den and Mushi call right now. Akainu got money on your head. Like, Akainu, get down, dog, man. I got money on your head, bro. Like, don't move. Don't move. Alpha Chava says, Buggy wake up each and every day choosing violence. As he should. As he should, yo. I'm choosing violence, too, if I have Mihawk under me. No doubt. Buggy for real, King's clown out here. Yo, we love it. We love it, Rain. We love it, yo. Yo, DJ Facts, banger chapter, and we're having an upcoming banger episode with the GOAT. I can't wait for that episode. Mihawk was forced to kneel to Buggy after realizing none of his sword attacks to defeat him. Yo, that's facts. It's like, yo, he realized that no matter how hard he tried to slash him, he just wouldn't be slashed. He was like, screw it. I'm just gonna join this guy. What if Buggy's bounty is larger than Luffy's? I honestly wouldn't be surprised. Oh, Atmosphere, that's gonna be comedy gold. When we see Buggy, Crocodile, and Mihawk together, that is going to be brilliant. Like somebody brought up earlier, the fact that we know Crocodile's not going to be not going to want to be known as being under Buggy, Mihawk not giving a flying flag nards, and Buggy now being an emperor, being super cocky. Oh, I need that injected into my veins. Mr. 3 trolling. Oh, come on, man. We need that energy, bro. Buggy and a few good men. Buggy and a few good men. Yeah, I need King and Lenny to see that tomorrow, yo. That'll be fun. But you like Kasim G? You know, that's been like the most, that's been like the biggest comparison that's ever been on the channel. It's like, yo, you like Kasim G, bro? Like, hey, man, shout out to Kasim G. I need Kasim G to be a One Piece fan if that's the case. My belly has never been so full. We're eating so good, yo. Fable, we're eating good. You're eating good, yo. Game Me Night is an excellent... Yeah, the Game Me Night. This was an excellent chapter, yo. This is a great chapter. Corlo to Go says, when do film red fillers start? I think film red fillers are going to start on... after this next episode. So on 10/29. I feel like 1029 is going to be when the fillers start. I think. It would be kind of funny if Mia couldn't cut him and just ended up slapping him instead. That would be funny, Lost Mario. That would be funny. No, we're going to mention our boy in the car page back in action. No, Prime Elevator. We were losing our minds for Katakuri. We were losing our minds for Katakuri. Like, that's Donut. That's a Donut Emperor. You know what I mean? That is the Donut Emperor. I'd love to see Yamato joining the crew, but just for the sake of argument, if not Yamato, then who else? At this point, I don't know who else. You know, this week's chapter pretty much presented the fact that Carrot is not going to join, Momo's going to stay here, Tama's not joining either until we do the last go around the world, where Luffy wants to come back, right? And whatnot. So it's like, excuse me, all the individuals that we thought could potentially be like a cabin boy or a cabin girl or someone who's been with us for a while. The only individual that can that actually makes sense for me is Yamato. And then if somebody else were to come out, then it wouldn't be in this arc. It wouldn't be this arc. I know this is off topic, but just reached it started Chimera Ant. What a legendary starts on arcs of, oh man, yo. Shout out to Hunter x Hunter and the Chimera Ant arc. Can't wait for Hunter x Hunter to come back. But yo, enjoy that arc, Vortex. Enjoy that arc. Yo, you know when the adult dating sites stop by, you know it was a great chapter. You know it was a great chapter. Shout out to the spam, baby. We love to see it. We love to see it. For real, Shreyas, even Love Chat is in the best-selling manga in history, as it should be. As it should be. Bro, Buggy has Mihawk, Crocodile, Mr. 1, Mr. 3, Perona, Alvida. Yo, if he has Perona under... Anyone with Perona in their crew that actually knows how to use Perona automatically has the biggest advantage, because Perona even made Luffy, the most ambitious man on the planet, want to become a slug, right? So it's like Perona's ability is OP against everybody but Usopp. So unless you have an Usopp on your crew, Perona's filthy. All he needs is Doffy or Moria, and Buggy has the strongest alliance in the world. Seriously, Buggy getting Doffy or Moria or both would be, that would truly be scary. That would truly be scary. Who's going to be harder for Luffy to beat, Akainu or Blackbeard? I think it just depends on the situation around the battle, right? Like, obviously, I think Blackbeard is going to be the harder battle just based on what's been presented in the story up until this point. Clearly, that's going to be Luffy's hardest battle besides the final, like, Instant Messenger, Sama, whoever. But Akainu is going to be, I think, a bigger threat in regards to, like, potentially ending his life. But I think the circumstances around that fight will be different. Whereas the Blackbeard fight, based on the character that he is, I feel like that'd be more dangerous. If that makes any sense. But I feel like the situation's going to be more dangerous in the Blackbeard fight than it is going to be in the Akainu fight. But I feel like Akainu, I don't know. Honestly, I feel like it's going to be harder to defeat Blackbeard. But it's like Akainu's so nasty. Like, even if the situation doesn't present itself to be like favorable for Akainu, it's flipping Akainu. I don't know, man. That's just, I don't know, dude. I don't know. But that is a good question. Peak One Piece chapter is hot single moms in your area now. Yo, it won't last 5 minutes reading this chapter. I wonder how Perona's ability works on Conqueror's Coded. Yo, for real, right? Like a Conqueror's Coded lad, Perona's ability is like, will it even hit him? Will it even hit him? The spam been making it hard to read scans in public. For real, Michael. Usopp versus Perona, top 3 fight all time. I love Usopp versus Perona. That's a fantastic fight. Yo, Laz! Laz! Yo, Laz, now that there's a break next week, we got to get together, bro. We got to get together. We have a lot to discuss. Yo. Yamato is joining next chapter. It is going to be a good day. It's going to be a good day to be alive on this planet when we get Yamato signing the max deal. Alright? Momonosuke and Kinemon's final moments with the squad. Mama Nami and daughter Tama? It's a good day. It's a good day. It's a good day. Exactly, Radney G. Like, Akainu has the whole Marines. Which is why, like, to me, it all depends on the situation at hand. Like, if it's a 1v1, and even then, it's like, I don't even know who to pick. Because Akainu's so nasty. We know Akainu's nasty. But it's like, this is Blackbeard we're talking about. This is the individual who has been built up the entire series to be Luffy's foe at the end of the series, pre-whoever final villain is. Like, Instant Master, someone, whoever. So it's like, that's why it's so difficult. Because Akainu has a literally... Not only does he have the mindset of just ruthlessness, but also having the entire Marines behind him as a fleet admiral, like, man. Exactly, Laz. The 20-plus year, $2,200 billion deal, bro. Like, come on, man. Come on, yo. It's time. It's time. It's finally time for the GOAT to join. We've been waiting. Blackbeard isn't the final villain, nor is Akainu. I agree. I don't think either of them are either. But that's what I'm saying. That's why I think that whatever ends up happening there, that's not going to be Luffy's biggest threat. Or Luffy's hardest battle. Because whatever happens after that is going to be Luffy's hardest battle. Or most difficult battle. Meaning Shanks's. I love it. I'll take it. Hey, anything to hype up Shanks makes me happy. You know what I mean? Anything to hype up Shanks. Yamato max deal, no more retiring. Facts, DJ. Facts. Desk-kun minus 10 HP. Yo, poor Desk, right? It's just whenever we talk about Yamato, the Desk gets wrecked. It's my fault. Next chapter, Yamato boards the ship, finally bounty situation, the rest of the Chibukai. I think that's actually going to be split into two. Well, if that is in the same chapter as Tobri, that's going to be a goated chapter. But I do think it's going to be split in half, because I think next chapter is going to be the final chapter of Wano, like real final chapter of Wano, where we're going to have the Yamato joining the crew with the goodbye with Momonosuke and Kinemon. It's going to be a really, really emotional chapter. If we do have the bounties and all that stuff in that same chapter, it'll be nuts. But I do think that'll be safe for the chapter after. But if that's all in the same chapter, we are in for peak fiction. We were already in for peak fiction, but we're going to be in for peak fiction. I can't wait for us to enter a new island. I feel like it's been forever. Facts. Like, as much as I love Wano, it's going to be really cool just to get to a new island and just have a fresh start again. Bro, the Cross Guild is that one faction during 2K12 with Sheamus and the Un-Americans. Yo, that's facts. It's gonna... What were they called? The League of Nations, Laz. The League of Nations, yo. The GOATs. The Cross Guild is like when Golden State with KD joined. That's exactly what it is, bro. Like, Mihawk is literally KD. Yo. That's nuts. Where is Hancock at? I'm worried. I don't think we have to worry about Hancock Prime Elevator. I think next time when we see Hancock, we're going to see Of course, whatever ended up happening in that situation with Kobe, with a potential admiral that showed up in order to apprehend her. But whatever ends up happening, we know that at some point in the final saga, Hancock is going to join our alliance alongside with Luffy. That has to happen. You know what I mean? That has to happen. So we'll be good. The Hancock greatness will reign supreme. You know what I mean? Hancock supremacy. We believe in it. We believe in it. Young Yeet says, what if Caribou tells Blackbeard about Pluton and then Luffy just bounces it back at him? I mean, in Gear 5th, even Pluton kneels before the goat. You know what I mean? Even Pluton. The Austin Aries created wrestler main protagonist. Legit, bro. Day of Reckoning 2 style, man. Hemisphere, if that actually ends up being the case, I'll take it. You know, I've always been of the belief that the like, especially after Instant Message almost introduced, but even before that like, you know, the whole once the One Piece is found, big war will take place, right? Like, I always thought there would be a battle for the One Piece, which is where, like, Luffy and Blackbeard would box. And then once the One Piece is found, that's whenever the world gets involved. And then we're boxing the Celestial Dragons, Gorosei, whatever, right? Instant Messenger Sama, all that stuff. So, it's like, at that point, that's what I always believe is going to be the final villain. But if Blackbeard is the final person that we fight, I'm not. You know how much I love Blackbeard. I'll take anyone. At this point, I don't even care who the final villain is, because I know it's going to be Raw. Whether it's Blackbeard or Kainu, Shanks, the Gorosei, Instant Messenger Sama, it rocks. You know, I don't care. Someone's going to be goated. They got a box prime, strongest in the verse. Gear 5th Conquerors Coded Pirate King Luffy. Whoever is boxing that guy I just said is taking an L. I don't care how strong they are. They could revive Roger back from the dead and he's still getting packed up. Momo and Kinemon are going to get a goodbye like Vivi. It's going to be so emotional, lavish. So emotional. Like, I cannot wait for next chapter. Next chapter, Luffy and the crew sail away with Yamato holding the anchor, hands up showing the X, Kenny Momo confused. Man, can you imagine? They just look at the X and like, what in the world does that mean? The sign of friendship? What is that? What in the world is that? Buggy out here building a super team. Alvaro Chavez, he really is out here building a super team. It's crazy. It's like, the man is his own general manager and no one's stopping him. Next chapter, we're gonna get the Marines in Garp. We should also get something on the Grand Fleet. Now, on the Grand Fleet, I'm not entirely sure. I think on the Grand Fleet side, we can probably see that for later on in the arc. I don't think we're going to get that the first chapter, but I really can't wait for that update. The update on the Grand Fleet is going to be very, very fascinating, especially considering that we know they're going to be a part of that major thing that's going to become the catalyst for the final saga, right? So that's going to be very interesting. But the Marines in Garp, very much looking forward to seeing them again, especially after what we just saw with Sabo, Flame Emperor, and all that stuff, so that's going to be very interesting. Did Oda really skip Zoro visiting Ryuma's grave? You know, you're absolutely right. I mean, of course, we got a lot of those conversations earlier on in the arc and whatnot, but, you know, having that scene most certainly is going to be a missed opportunity if it does not happen. If it doesn't happen, if it doesn't happen in the manga, you know, it doesn't matter if they showed it in the anime. Because I'll take it in the anime, obviously, but if it doesn't happen in the manga, and then it's just a missed opportunity. You know what I mean? If we really don't get it, like if this is it and we don't get it, then that's just a missed opportunity. I'm convinced even more now than I was before that Jesus is going to get all 3 ancient weapons, and I would love that less. I would love it because due to the fact that we assume that Blackbeard does not have hockey on the level that Luffy does, right, or Shanks, or these individuals. He's just going to be so proficient in his fruits, while also, like you said, if he's also packing the heat in regards to the ancient weapons as well, then it's like he's going to be a powerhouse, like a true powerhouse that's just not going to have the will, which is hockey translated. So it's like it's going to be interesting. It's going to go back to that conversation with Kaido, where Kaido was like, hockey beats anything, right? Like, hockey is the number one skill you need to learn on these seas. So it's like, it would go back to, no matter how many fruits you have, no matter how many ancient weapons you have, if you don't have that hockey, you ain't doing nothing. And I think it would be interesting. That would be a very interesting a dilemma to have there with Blackbeard and Luffy. One of them so efficient in hockey, and the other having potentially 3 fruits and 3 ancient weapons. Crazy. Love the reaction to 103 PV. I appreciate you, Akash. Thank you so much for watching that. The drums and the chanting made Nika feel like, yo, seriously, like the that once the sound they made there was so dope. It sounded just like whenever you're watching like one of like the movies or any type of history, and you hear like the dances they would do with like the chants they would do. It's like, you're right. It sounds like some sort of ancient god or something. Like, it's so dope. But the drums in particular, I just loved. I love the way the drums sound, and if they use that for the Drums of Liberation, I'm 100% down for that. It sounded great. Wano will be the first arc. So Joel says Wano will be the first arc that I've completed in the mangas I've been weekly. That is awesome. That is awesome. From start to finish, caught up during the cat fight. Oh, so you caught up during the Katakuri fight. And so Wano's the first arc that you've completed from start to finish. That's awesome. That is awesome. Look up the Linen Frost effect sometime and think about what should happen if Akainu hit the water. Will do, Fable. Will do. Final boss is a post with Stair D case. Stair D case is definitely the strong. I'll tell you that. There is a break, Jose. There is a break. It's a magazine break. No, not an Oda break. It's just a magazine break. Kanemon was killing me and giving me life this chapter. Definitely. Yo, Kanemon had me dying, man. That guy's a troll. He's a troll in the best way possible. Bro, think of the chapter when the final war is going on and we hear a bell singing and Wiper drops in like a monster, like folks, hype for N. I'll have for YP-er. Yo, Wiper coming back is going to be hype. Anyone from that arc is going to be so amazing. So amazing. We make another skit. Oh, you already know Sobri. We're working on skits all the time. So I'm looking forward. I have a lot of ideas right now for the next skit. I was sick this week, so I wasn't able to. There was a lot of ideas I actually had for this week for a skit, but I wasn't healthy enough. Like yesterday, whenever I recorded that the PV for Volume 103, that thing revived me, dog. I felt just like Luffy. End of chapter 1042. That PV was like me hearing the Drums of Liberation. I was like, yo, let's go. So it's great. It's great to be back. You know, Fable, I would actually be fine with that. Like, Mr. 3 is just the first commander. He is known as the official Yonko commander in the same crew that has Crocodile and Buggy. Or Crocodile and Mihawk. Like, I would love that. I would love that. Buggy still has enough to give a max contract to Boa and Weevil. Yo, that's facts. That's facts. He still has enough. Buggy has an infinite amount of cash at this point. Why are people jumping to conclusions? Oda doesn't show Zoro and Ryuma. At this point, it's like it's such an open book where we go from this point on, right? In regards to like what can be shown, what's not going to be shown. That I feel like that's where a lot of that that those conclusions are coming from. That like we assume that next arc is or the next chapter or in the coming chapters, next like 1, 2, or 3, we're finishing Wano completely in terms of we're gonna get the goodbye with Momonosuke and Kinemon. We're gonna have Yamato officially joining the crew. So like those loose ends, some of the loose ends are about to be tied up. And so if we don't see Zoro and Ryuma's grave scene here, then some people believe we might not get it ever. Whereas if it's never shown, it's never shown. But there is most certainly an opportunity for it to be shown either in flashback form, it's still to be shown here within the arc itself, or for it to be shown down the line after the series ends, and when we go back, we visit Wano again at the end, and we have them on with Zoro and Ryuma and Ryuma's grave. It just depends. It just depends on when Oda wants to have that moment in that scene in front of Ryuma's grave. If we're ever going to get it. But I think that's where those conclusions come from, Wheezy Bird. It's just not knowing for certain where we're going from here on out. You know what I mean? Like, because we're about to have a fresh start. All right. It is almost 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm about to head out soon, but this was great. This was a fun chapter to read, yo. This is a fun chapter to read and discuss. Exactly, Randy G. Like, after Gear 5th, it don't even matter. After Gear 5th, this is about to be a blast, no matter what. No matter which ancient weapon, fruit, whatever it is. Like, now we have Gear 5th, we boxing anyone. We boxing anyone. I also want to see the Admiral's Bounties ASAP. Those are going to be fun. Those are going to be a lot of fun. Just seeing how, like, if the Admirals truly are going to be over there on the same level as like the Yonko. Why for the final arc, I know already came back and healed the Scabbards. That's facts. That's our that's gonna be what's that called? That's gonna be our headcanon. Speaking of Loki, I wonder how Loki and Thor look like. Yo, they're gonna look snide. They're gonna look beast. They're either gonna look beast or they're gonna look trollish, but still beast. It's classic Oda fashion, right? Because we have a bunch of closing for the characters. Yo, we had a lot of closing, really, really nice conclusions to character arcs this week. Or to even explain why the waterfalls are fresh water, but won't go over Zoro and Ryuma. It just seems like impatience. Most certainly, man. And like I said, it's at this point, like I said, there's a lot of uncertainty in the air, which is why I believe there are conclusions like that. W chapter. I appreciate you, Vortex, man. Thank you. Thanks for the stream. No, thank y'all for stopping by, dog. It's so early. Like, normally I do these streams and I try to put out some type of notice. Or I don't even know I'm capping like that. I never put out a notice. But at the very least, like, I do it at a time period that's not this late at night. You know, like, the last time I did a stream that was this late was Gear 5th, maybe? I don't remember. I know it was one of those chapters. I did a really, really late stream. But I appreciate everybody who's still here, because we've had 300 people consistently this entire stream. And that's nuts. I don't know how many we had max at one time, because I was reading the chapter, but I know at some point it was like 500, 600. So like the fact that we had that many people at 2 o'clock in the morning, or earlier, it was like 1, but that means a lot to me, man. I really appreciate y'all. Yo, Randy G comes in with a 10. Shout out to Randy G, yo. Gotta wait 2 weeks, but I'm sure it'll be worth it. Appreciate your content like always. King, good brother and good y'all. Yo, I appreciate you, Randy G, man. Thank you. It's gonna be a hard 2 weeks, but we know when we come back, it's gonna be absolutely legendary. We got a great episode coming out this weekend. We're gonna have to be dodging film red spoilers like crazy this weekend as well. So It's gonna be nuts, but we'll get through it. We'll get through it, yo. But I appreciate y'all so much, man. Thank you for stopping by. I love this chapter. This chapter, going back to what Boise Bird was saying earlier about like the closing stuff for the characters and like finally getting like these conclusions and like these moments for these characters we've known for so long. Like that's why I really can't wait for this Momonosuke and Kinemon moment, because it's gonna be such an emotion. We've been with these characters for so long that like saying that goodbye and having that bow on those characters, it's gonna hit so different, bro. Like I can't wait, man. I can't wait. Yo, Fable. Dog, I was like, yo, I was about to wrap up the stream. This man Fable's like, dog, palo, and drops a 50. Fable. And he just leaves a goat. He just leaves a goat with a 50. I appreciate you, Fable, man. I truly, truly do, man. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that, dog. That means the world. I appreciate you. You're a real one. Like Laz said, you're a real one, yo. Thank you so much, dog. I hope you have a nice night as well, Fable, man. Thank you so much, dude. The chapter ain't complete without GoatCon reaction stream. I appreciate you, Prime Alvita. Thank you. Thanks for the content. Now, thank you for stopping by, Con the Walrus. Yo, I appreciate you. I hope 1028 is as good as Kaido Luffy Clash in the opening Akash Panda. We're expecting greatness in that episode. We're expecting greatness. The power of Oda when he is cooking is enough to keep anyone awake. Facts, Les. The power of Oda when that man is cooking is enough for Eddie. It's enough for Eddie to be awake. I came late, but this was so worth it. Thanks for the stream, Goat. I appreciate you, Super. Thank you so much for stopping by. Yamato joins next chapter. DJ, we are going to be living. We're going to be living, yo. Yo, Scar, have a good one. Thank you so much for stopping by, dog. I appreciate you. California Penguin says, another silent goodbye tier moment incoming. Absolutely. We're about to have a legendary silent goodbye tier moment. No question. No question, yo. This is about to be... Because it's the end of Wano, man. Like... And it's a goodbye to Kinemon and Momonosuke, characters that we've been with for 400 chapters. Like... Fable with that buggy-sized wallet. Facts. Shout out to Fable with the buggy-sized wallet. But yo, to everyone who stopped by, everyone who commented, just watched, or did anything in support of the stream, I appreciate y'all, because this was a late stream. But this was such a great chapter, man. Loved it. And now that everything's being tied up, I really can't wait for next chapter. Looking forward to rereading this, doing the afterthoughts this weekend, and of course the episode as well that's coming out. Laz, of course, we'll keep in touch so that we can either do a collaboration or just have a regular discussion like we always do off air. Whatever we end up doing, bro, I'm looking forward to talking to you and Silva about this chapter and about the last couple chapters and stuff as we catch up. But, yo, I hope all of you have an awesome of a day. I don't know how I'm going to sleep. Even that it's late. I should be able to sleep. You know, early, like I was saying earlier, before the stream started, I actually got into bed. And I was ready to go to bed, but I couldn't go to sleep. I was like, man, I really, like, I just want this chapter. And then a couple minutes later, I was talking to my cousin. He was like, yo, chapter's out. I'm like, whoa, One Piece is out, I'm out. You know what I mean? And that's what led to the stream. So, we're out here. We're out here, yo. Let's go. I'll see y'all next time. Hope y'all have an awesome of a day. Take care. And thank y'all so much for stopping by, yo. This chapter was awesome. Buggy D Goatman. Yamato's joining next chapter. Yamato's joining!